far too easy. Sterling is a player who doesn't move a hell of a lot, so he picks up the slow ball and the line.
I think if anything there, as you can see the slow ball out of the back of the hand, he's just waiting on that line more than anything else, particularly with the field that he's got at the moment. Got fine leg up. So you're hiding to nothing if you get the line wrong.
Lovely shot for one. As it so often is, barely gets a cheer. 2 overs done, 11 for 1.
Ah, Norway, land of the midnight sun, the splendour of the fields, the majesty of the glaciers. But first, some ice in my vodka martini.
Yes, very good.
7-night holidays on our new ship Iona from $749 per person. P&O Cruises.
This is the life.
People still coming in. There's that little buzz that you often get here at Lord's. Just a hum. Is it going to be Tahir? Is he just giving him the 1 over in the power play? Yeah, looks like we got a bit of Sam Curran. Sam Curran released by England so he can come and play in this game. Against the slope, so if you want to try and bring it back into the right hander, you feel it's going against the slope. So he's going to go left arm round the wicket. And their homework to Sterling.
It was almost a carbon copy of the last shot that he played off Dernbach's first over, but they had the cover sweeper out. And that sweep is very square.
Had to be a single. Had to be a single. Well done, Imran Tahir.
Yeah, without a doubt. Tahir, not the most agile of fielders in the side, but had to make a bit of distance to his right, knew the dive had to come out. Eskenazi was just waiting for Sterling to call him through.
He's got to walk in though. He's standing there like he's in the slips. He's on the ring. Nick. Oh, diving forward. Foakes not short. They look straight to the square leg umpire. Peter Hartley. We're going from Fur. Imagine they're going to take it upstairs, but look for the soft signal. Soft signal is out. Neil Bainton, the third umpire. Foakes, you saw him really. He took the catch and then straight away he looked up to say he wasn't sure himself. Curran front foot is absolutely fine. Gave himself a little bit of room. Crowd go up for the nick. That's not what we're on about. Have a look here now. Looks like it's hit the ground just before.
Yeah, from our position in the pod, we're sitting right along the line of probably a fourth slip. It felt as if it carried, but then from the angle in front, looks as if that Kookaburra ball has taken a bit of turf before getting into the gloves. And that will be the result that the Middlesex crowd will be more than happy to see.
Yeah, fair enough from Foakes. He didn't go over the top with the celebration at all. He just wasn't sure.
Always difficult to judge it too when you're coming forward. Even harder as well when you've got the gloves on. You can't get that real feel of the ball in the hands. Did it hit the fingers first, the palm?
Good angle. That angle from left arm round really cramping you for room. I suppose the decision you make if you're someone like Sterling is whether you try and get across and you flick him into the leg side. over mid-wicket, something like that. It'd be dangerous trying to give yourself room.
I think if Sterling does look to go aerial, you wouldn't be thinking pretty much sort of mid-wicket through to mid-on. Fielders up in that zone.
Full toss, man busy out of deep cover, doesn't matter. Jordan Clarke can't get anywhere near that.
This is why he's such a good player, Sterling. He had the 2 half volleys that he absolutely drilled to the sweeper on the boundary square of the wicket. Then he knows that if he gets that full toss, he can hit straight through the line of the ball. He made the adjustment.
That is really short. Yeah, no ball. I don't mind bowlers trying the no ball, and generally I think you should be pretty lenient. You can't with that, though.
Yeah, you don't mind at the end of the over too, because you're still not too sure as a batter, do you? You're going to get a short ball, the fuller one. You bowl at the start of the over, you know you've got a lot of full-length deliveries to go.
Might be a couple. Three overs done, 21 for 1.
Yeah, crowd just starting to fill up now as well. Why wouldn't they want to be coming in, get the opportunity of watching that guy go about his business, AB de Villiers. He's got to head back to South Africa, but he'll be back for the end of the round games and finals if Middlesex make it.
Oh, I wonder what he's thinking, AB de Villiers. Probably, why do I have to keep putting up with Nasser Hussain? He won't stop texting me. He's all over me, the fella. Another Tom Curran on at the other end.
I think he's like all of us. We just mentioned how special it is walking in here. Every time you speak to him about joining up with Middlesex, it's almost the first thing he says. He said, you know, growing up in South Africa, and you look at the home of cricket, if I ever got the opportunity of playing county cricket or cricket over here, it was always wanting to be with Middlesex. He's got that opportunity now. He's just letting it all soak in.
I've been impressed with Curran. He's had a very up and down blast. Extraordinary figures at times and then gone the journey at others. Welcome viewers on Main Event. You are joined us at the London Derby, Middlesex versus Surrey. Surrey talk about how they haven't had success in this competition for a while actually, and a lot of it down to the fact they haven't been planning as much. They haven't really been going into games with real clear plans for each batsman, for every opposition. They've sort of sat down and thought, right, we need to put this right. You're seeing different fields, different plans. Constantly changing things throughout the power play as well, with who's bowling. Curran celebrates. Foakes this time. No problems with the catch, but Jeff Evans doesn't think he's hit it.
You can see what Sterling was trying to do there, moving across the crease, trying to open up that onside. It got on him very quickly. I think it was through the gloves, and it's hit him on the left hip, off the thigh pad, ballooned up. It's just whether or not it maybe deflected off the glove onto the thigh pad.
Got that aeroplane celebration going a long way. Brilliant batting. Gave himself a lot of room. Showed the stumps. And then just creamed it through the offside.
So many players favour movement at the crease to one side or the other. What we're seeing here from Paul Stirling is more than happy to go either to the offside or on this occasion to the onside. That causes headaches for the bowler. What's he going to do next? Where should I put this ball?
Oh, could be bang in front, yes. Went right across his stumps that time, but didn't find the middle of the bat. That looked absolutely plump.
A little bit of cat and mouse between batter and bowler on this occasion. It was nice and steady, Stirling. That's important when you do move around the crease. However, didn't get bat on it. Curran gets the wicket of Stirling after being pummeled through the offside. It's a good fight back from him. Stirling goes for 16 and Middlesex 26 for 2.
I think he's got out there before the crowd have realised. A.B. de Villiers to the crease. One of the best there's ever been in this format, A.B. de Villiers, and this is why he's here. Stirling went right across his stump. 3/4 of the way up through middle. Dangerous player gone, dangerous player now at the crease. Another change of bowling, Rikki Clarke.
Big challenge now for Rikki Clarke too, and the most senior players going around. Hasn't picked up a wicket yet in this Vitality T20 blast. You'd probably claim it if your first wicket was A.B. de Villiers.
Yeah, you could pretty much stop then. So much time.
It's crazy good, isn't it? I had the pleasure of watching go about his business for quite some time now in the IPL. Really, I'll do anything to make sure I can get down to a training session and see how he goes about it. It is completely different to the way in which Virat Kohli goes about things.
This is what the umpire saw, umpire Cam. I reckon you'll have tougher decisions to make as an umpire. Look at Mr. Burns in the background, brilliant. I've got his glasses on.
It's a little bit Captain Serious there too. Eskenazi pushing back for the second. That's very sharp running, and it's created the overthrows, and he'll get 6.
Well, I tell you, I reckon that's some pretty ordinary cricket from all concerned. Wasn't great running. There was serious amounts of ball watching going from the batsman. Just have a look at this. Imran Tahir with the throw. Then Foakes, but actually nobody was backing up. De Villiers was well gone. All he was doing was just watching what was happening at the other end. See him there, just ball watching all the way. Half a chance. Rikki Clarke get back to the stumps. You still could have got him out. Now there's some pretty average cricket all round that. That's a lot better. Very easy paced pitch, you'd say, seeing shots like that. Wasn't that short.
I think he's got confidence in this pitch too. You can see that ball, shortish delivery, but pulled it off the front foot. More than happy to get into that position. That means that typically he's going to be hitting forward of the wicket.
Well, long and short of that is that over has gone for 14, 40 for 2.
You want to be on that plane to Japan? This is the time to state your claim and prove your worth.
The white of England, the red of Wales, terrific occasion.
Play hard or stay home.
The Quilter Internationals, England v Wales, Sunday from 1, live on Sky Sports.
Surrey, 99, Imran Tahir.
It's going to be Tahir once again. It's going to swing around though.
Just edged away for 4, no slip in. South Africa to South Africa. This is a big battle. Tahir's been brought on for de Villiers. No real turn here, just opening the face, and he'll take the boundary.
Just a reminder too, Tahir did get de Villiers just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, what a shot. Up and over, wide, mid-off, into out. Back-to-back boundaries for de Villiers.
The fact that he got him out in the last game, I don't think will be entering his mind whatsoever. Yes, that's nice. Almost feel blessed that he didn't get run out in the last over.
Flicked away. Will that go all the way? Not quite. There was that de Villiers shimmy to pick the wrong one. Just knocked it for once. When you get boundaries early on in the over, you don't really need to panic. When you're batting with de Villiers, you don't need to panic.
See the back of the hand facing towards Eskenazi. That's the cue for him to know the ball pitch and move into him.
Everyone up on that offside. That's why he gives himself room. Does he get it past mid-off? No. End of the over, 54 for 2.
Well, it's a perfect start for Surrey because they got the in-form captain out in the very first over. That just fell short. Had to go up to the third umpire. Foakes straight away said he wasn't 100% sure. Sterling was timing the ball very nicely, moving around the crease until it was his undoing. And then Mr. 360 comes to the crease.
End of the power play. Introduction of 41-year-old Gareth Batty.
Yeah, leading wicket taker for Surrey so far this season. Rob Key was right. There's just this real buzz around Lords at the moment.
Different styles out there. T20 cricket is not about technique, but Eskenazi stays high against the spinner. The best players are spin, get a little bit low and pick length. So just when you're watching Eskenazi, watch how high he is in his stance. He's quite a tall man anyway. Stays upright, comes down.
Yeah, 2 dots. Now he's fretting. There's no boundary early in this over. One of the great players at the other end that he doesn't want to keep away from the strike. Pressure builds. No, run out chance. Gone. Absolutely gone. That was all from 2 dots. That was all from de Villiers at the other end. And Eskenazi succumbs to pressure.
Well, you called it, Nass. You could feel something just building here. Was it going to be a risky shot? No, it was a risky run. There was no way known Eskenazi was going to force AB de Villiers to run on through. He departs for 21 in Middlesex, 56 for 3.
Cut! Great energy. On my cue, can you stop and show me the number 1? Cut! Cut! Now stand still. Cut! He is going to stop, right?
He never stops. He's Mr. Energizer.
I've got an idea.
Energizer Max Plus, our longest lasting alkaline.
One of the biggest cheers of the evening. World Cup winning captain, Owen Morgan. What a great moment for him. Goes down to de Villiers. And all of Lord's there applauded Morgan to the crease. 3.5 weeks ago, he was lifting the World Cup. Now his job is to get a score for Middlesex.
I thought it was compulsory stand and applause at Lord's.
Every time he goes out to bat,
exactly.
Anywhere in England, all stand to the great man. Brilliant from Batty, really good. 2 singles, a run out in the over, 56 for 3. There was no run there. Mid-wicket in the background there. It's fairly deep, but he hit it and he was off. And I think de Villiers realised he'd have been struggling. So Middlesex probably have lost 1 wicket too many in these first 7 overs. Strike rate's pretty good. They're 2 best players at the crease right now. Milan went cheaply, so these 2 got to build a partnership. Kumar's next to me.
Yeah, the game's well set for AB de Villiers to try and take this game deep. He's been showing us glimpses of why he's the best T20 player in the world.
Just dipped on him a fraction. Long on will come round. Maybe hunting a pair. He'll flick it to Dernbach. No, he does it himself. Tom Curran.
Yeah, full toss. Not very challenging for AB de Villiers, but left-hand, right-hand combination as well. Imran Tahir is such an important player. In a Surrey bowling to a right-hander will always fancy their chances, but with Morgan in and in good form, maybe thinking twice.
Meticulous with their field. Left-hander on strike now, trying to protect the shorter boundary to your right there towards the tavern. So he's probably going to bowl pretty straight, slightly longer hit leg side. No width, good shot though, strokes it through the offside. Be a couple.
Just by looking at that shot, looks a good pitch. Not much moisture. Jade Dernbach at the toss, so there could be a little bit of moisture there, but it's looked pretty good. Not as quick as probably the fast bowlers would like it, but definitely the batsman that made it seemed to be very, very easy paced.
Pulled away. They all like a short ball against Morgan nowadays when he first comes in. Sure, Curran's quick enough to trouble him.
The big boundary on that side as well. Really long, big gaps to try and not just get your boundaries, but also get twos. And the more you get your singles and twos in the strike rotation, the boundaries come. It's been brilliant watching AB de Villiers ever since he came, how he just played around with the field and the bowlers, especially in that power play.
It's his Yorker in on that occasion. De Villiers just knocks it for one.
Gareth there with AB when we used to play at international cricket, when he was walking all around to try and keep attacking the stumps and hope and pray that he misses one. He rarely did, but that was one way of trying to stay in control when he's trying to maneuver you and bowl into his areas, to try and just pick a spot and stick to it. The power play becomes really difficult. He's so good at just moving around and then quickly getting back into position just at the moment of delivery.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Gets it past mid-off. He looks in good touch to Zoe Morgan. 11 from the over, 67 for 3.
That's really well played. Hit through the line, hit into the gap, and the outfield is fast enough to take it to the boundary. But just the last delivery of an over is such a crucial delivery. It's actually advantageous to even have a set play to tell the batsman what you're trying to do and just try and minimize damage.
Pretty even game here at Lord's. Two big rivals. Middlesex, Surrey, 67 for 3 after 8. Stuart Law, Middlesex coach, on the back right of the dugout. He'll want these two to go long and build a partnership. They will not score slowly, these two.
Gareth Batty's ball well. He's got the long boundary bowling to the right-hander. Owen Morgan might be looking at this shorter boundary. He's really good at sweeping and slog sweeping the spinners. It is a risk. There's quite a lot of overs still to bat. Sometimes in T20 cricket you get carried away and you think, well, we're always under time pressure. The overs are going quickly. But still 8.1 overs. Enough time to really get into this game with the partnership.
Two men there for the reverse sweep for Batty against Morgan. Gets it past extra cover again. Should be a couple. Just tucked him up. Batty will be watching de Villiers' feet very carefully, very quick on his feet. He has that little shimmy occasionally to seamers and spinners, and sometimes he brings itself back in. He uses it almost as its trigger movements, get him into the shot.
It's all about exploiting the field. He looks at the field and he thinks, okay, I need to be in this position against this bowler. And just like that, move around and get the bowler to bowl into the area that he wants. He moves to the leg side, he bowl on the stumps, he goes to the offside or he slog sweeps you. If you follow him with a short square leg up, he goes conventional sweep and goes over the fielder. Very smart. He doesn't do it all the time, but only when he really wants to and needs to.
Wide or no wide? Yeah, given. Batty's having a word.
Very harsh. Very harsh. You can do a Jofra and try and rip for that.
Yorkie to Yorkie there. Peter Hartley's been round forever, so has Gareth Batty. Been very good here, Batty. He's bowled 11 deliveries, 4 dots, just 9 runs.
Interesting length that he's bowling as well. He's trying to stay away from a fuller length to both batsmen, especially the left-hander. Mindful of that shorter boundary on the leg side. Seems to be working. 51.2 miles per hour, quite slow through the air. The ball seems to be just sticking in. 75 for 3 after 9.
I know every instinct is telling you to go in there, but you just...
Point agents on the street are Bell and Zidane.
We need to secure this area immediately.
I just shut down half the city and I can't open it up until we know it's safe.
The brand new series of FBI starts tonight at 9 on Sky Witness.
What a great shot that is. One of the greatest cricket grounds in the world, probably the greatest. Resplendent, the sunshine. Storms are brewing, but at the moment, absolutely perfect conditions. 170 the par in the last couple of years here at Lord's. They're on track for something around about that.
I'm talking about storms. This just seems to be the calm before that comes and hits, especially with A.B. de Villiers. Seems to be just setting himself up for a charge here. Very circumspect, taking the singles and offer, not really going big in terms of risk. Morgan needs to contribute as well. It's so important. One batsman's quiet, the other one takes charge.
Real buzz, isn't there, around Lord's? Different atmosphere you get here. You can hear it from the pod. Bit of chat going on. It's a bit at the Oval and at Lord's. Real feel about it. Good cricketers on show, great cricketers on show.
That's such a varied crowd as well. Different ages, young kids, boys and girls in to watch the cricket. It's brilliant.
Slower ball. He's always had a good slower ball. Sometimes he's overused it, Jade Dernbach. Gets a dip on it.
What's happened too? Many a ball around the world, Nash. Once you settle into a variation, sometimes you just replace your stock delivery with it. It becomes a problem for you. I've seen it with Muralidharan with his Dusra. He overbowled it at times. The googly with some bowlers, they lose the turn off their leg spinner when you settle into the googly too much. Jade Dernbach needs to balance it out, bowl it at the right time. Sometimes difficult as a batsman, as if any short boundary, just can't stop thinking about it. Sometimes just takes over your focus and you lose sight of the fact that there are other areas of the ground. Left-hand, right-hand combination makes it a little bit easier for Middlesex.
See that test pitch there covered in green tarpaulin. That's the middle, that's right centre. So the fact that we are 3 strips to the right of that shows the short boundary. And that side for Morgan, over mid-off. Another slower ball, but it was a full toss and it was put away.
Yeah, one variation too many. This is a very poor ball. You don't want to bowl a rankful toss to any batsman. Easy pickings for Morgan. He chose the...
আমি র্যাঙ্ক ম্যাচ দুইটা খেলা হারিয়ে গেছি দুইটা খেলা
बंदा है मेरी मेरे संग बंदा है एक सारा बंदा दो बंदा है बंदा है बंदा है पीछे साइड में बंदा है इधर 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 देखो 300 पे देखो 300 पे इधर 285 285 240 पे देखो 240 उधर उधर मेरे पीछे बंदा है इधर आ जाओ यार इधर आ जाओ इधर आ जाओ पीछे बंदा है सामने बंदा है इधर आ जाओ इधर बंदा है देख रहा हूँ पास कर अब इधर आ जाओ इधर मैंने पिक कर दिया मेरे पीछे से देखता हूँ पीछे देखता हूँ उधर 2 बंदा है
berapa lama lagi? दोनों में मार दिया दोनों ने मिलके मार दिया बहुत अच्छा खेला है दोनों में मेरी तो जैकेट भी नहीं ली इधर रुको मैंने कुछ जैकेट ले लिया मेरी बात तो पे देखता हूँ ड्रैगन मिल गया बहुत अच्छा है और ड्रैगन पे गाड़ी बुली तो नहीं है मेरे पास gimana? Gimana apa lagi ya? Hah? मेरे पास पूरे पैक कर अम्मी नॉक कर दी उसका पूरी पैक का नॉक कर साइड दे उसकी ऊपर आप अपनी जाए आवाज चला रही जोन पे चलो उधर एक गाड़ी है मेरे साथ आओ मेरे साथ आओ मेरे साथ आओ पकड़ो मेरे साथ आओ बंदा मेरे साथ आओ गाड़ी से मत मानो ओके मैं गुस्सा निकलो यार हां पर्सन ये बता तू हिंदी में तो कर एक क्लिक कर खेले तो इंग्लिश में बोला है कुछ नहीं लगा दिया ओके ब्रदर तुम जो बोलो समझ के चलो ये बंदा भी हो सकता है कैचिंग इधर कोई बंदा नहीं है तुम्हारा पास माइनर है माइनर माइनर को इधर पिक कर दो इधर इधर पिक कर दो ओ भाई नहीं है यार ओके Oh, plus bowling for a plus face. Bowling for oh, bowling. Okay, brother, bye bye. अच्छा वो तो लॉन्च कोड से जरूरी है सब जोन सब ज्यादा हो के क्यों तुम्हारे ऊपर सॉरी बोले ज्यादा हो ए जे तुम मारो ना
BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. We are live at the Oval in South London for the clash between Sussex and Surrey in the T20 Blast, and your timing is impeccable because the Sussex players are just making their way onto the field, which will tell you that Sussex are going to be bowling first. Luke Wright winning the toss, and I'll give you the teams in a minute. The Surrey batsmen are just making their way out to the middle as well. A sold-out Oval, 25,000 people will be shoehorned into here as the evening goes on. We understand there are some problems tonight on the northern line, which is preventing some people from getting here for the start of the game. So at the moment, there are plenty of empty seats, but we hope those folk aren't too much delayed and they get here to enjoy the cricket. The floodlights are on. There's a bit of a cloud around, but that cloud that is pretty high, and we're not expecting any rain, fingers crossed. So, in terms of the Sussex side, a couple of changes. Reece Topley comes back in for Sussex tonight as a replacement for Ollie Robinson, who's suffering with a little bit of tonsillitis, and Will Beer comes in for Tymal Mills, who's just got a slight back niggle, so Tymal Mills misses out tonight. Therefore Sussex playing with three spinners. The full lineup for Sussex: Phil Salt, Luke Wright, Laurie Evans, Alex Carey, David Wiese, Delray, Rawlins, Rashid Khan, Chris Jordan, Reece Topley, Danny Briggs and Will Beer. In terms of Surrey, Aaron Finch, Mark Stoneman, Will Jack, Sam Curran, who's been released by England to play in this game. He was 12th man in the Test match. Ollie Pope, Ben Foakes the keeper, Jordan Clarke, Tom Curran, Jade, Dernbach the skipper, Gareth Batty and Imran Tahir the leg spinner. And it's going to be Reece Topley who's going to open the bowling for Sussex from the pavilion end of the ground. He comes running in to bowl to the left-handed Mark Stoneman. He's in, pulled away by Stoneman. Is he going to be caught? No, he's not. Rashid Khan comes running in from deep square, gets in the throw, and Stoneman is on his way with a single. So Surrey won without loss after one ball of their innings. You could probably hear the buzz of anticipation around the ground. The floodlights are on, and I have to say the Oval looks absolutely magnificent. Beautiful outfield, great atmosphere. Sussex unbeaten in this competition so far this season, the only unbeaten county in the entire competition. But that winning run will be put to a severe test tonight against a very strong-looking Surrey side who need to win to maintain any chance of reaching the quarter-finals. In comes Topley, left arm over the wicket, bowls to Aaron Finch, who's forward and plays quietly to mid-off, fielded there by the Sussex skipper Luke Wright, and there is no run. Sussex in their royal blue shirts, Surrey in their duck egg blue shirts, light blue. Almost sort of Manchester City, if you can imagine the colours that Manchester City play in. There's a slip in place, a third man, backward point, cover mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, a short fine leg, and then a deep mid-wicket. Delray Rawlins out there as in comes Topley and bowls, and Finch works this one away through the offside, and that's going to be a boundary. The first boundary of the night to Aaron Finch, just outside of the off stump from Topley, and Finch just inside the line, and with immaculate timing, the ball goes away through the offside for 4 runs. And with that, the flames down below us, they've got some flamethrowers. There's probably a dozen of them down below us, and every time there's a boundary you'll see those flamethrowers shooting flames up into the air just to add to the atmosphere, if indeed we needed any more atmosphere. Topley is back to his mark. 5 without loss of Surrey in the first over as in comes Topley again from the pavilion end. He's in and bowls, and this time Finch is right in behind that and plays it into the covers, fielded by Rashid Khan, and there is no run. Just to explain the rules for those of you perhaps unfamiliar with T20 cricket, it's 20 overs a side. The first 6 overs of each innings, you can only have 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Now, one of those is a third man, Will Beer just down below us. The other one, a deep mid-wicket. So needless to say, there are more scoring opportunities for the batsmen in these opening 6 overs. In comes Topley and bowls, and Finch works that one down to third man to Will Beer, number 18, just down below us. He gets in the throw to the Australian wicketkeeper Alex Carey, who's got a very natty pair of yellow wicket-keeping gloves on. And it's one more to the total. 6 without loss, Surrey, in the first over here on BBC Surrey and BBC Sussex. If you're tuning in for your usual Thursday night listening, it's cricket tonight and also cricket tomorrow as well, when Sussex make the trip down to Canterbury. As in comes Topley, left arm over bowls to Stoneman, and Stoneman is forward and plays it to Luke Wright at mid-on. There is no run. It's the end of good over from Reece Topley, in which he conceded just the one boundary. At the end of that first over, Surrey are 6 without loss. Mark Stoneman is on 1, Aaron Finch is on 5, and the two batsmen have a little bit of a natter in the middle of the pitch. For those of you wanting to know how the test match is going, England making 258 in their first innings. Local interest, Rory Burns making a half century. He made 53. Johnny Bairstow making 52. Unfortunately, Jason Roy out for a duck off the third ball of the innings. Jofra Archer, he was out for 12. Australia in reply are 13 for 1. The man out, David Warner, who was bowled by Stuart Broad for 3. Jofra Archer has so far bowled 3 overs, 1 maiden and no wicket for 3. We'll keep an eye on that one just across London at Lord's. But it's T20 cricket we're concentrating on this evening, as in comes David Wiese running away from us to bowl to the right-handed Australian Finch, who drives firmly, and that's going to race away for 4 runs. It didn't go exactly where he expected it to go. He was looking to drive that one straight back down the ground, but he got a thickish outside edge and the ball went away over backward point for 4 runs. So 2 boundaries for Aaron Finch so far. He goes to 9, and Surrey 10 without loss in the second over. Wiese back to his mark. There are 5 men saving 1 on the offside, 2 on the leg and 2 men out on the boundary on the leg side as Wiese is in bowls. Oh, and Finch almost dragged that on. He played that without moving his feet. He got a thick inside edge. The ball went through to Alex Carey, the Sussex wicketkeeper, and there is no run. So a dot ball, welcome for Sussex. Surrey 10 without loss. In this, the second over, you can probably hear the expectant buzz around the ground as Wiese, number 96 on his back, runs away from us, comes in and bowls, and that's a good delivery. And Finch was looking to run that one down to third man, but he was beaten by the pace and by the bounce taken by Carey. And again, there is no run. So Sussex with a short third man, a backward point, cover, extra cover, and a mid-off. All those 5 fielders saving a single. There's a long on, Chris Jordan just down below us, and a deep mid-wicket. Then a mid-wicket saving one and a short fine leg as Wiese is in and bowls. And Finch pulls that one away and he's caught, and a wicket for Sussex. And a terrific catch there by Laurie Evans. It was short from David Wiese. Aaron Finch looking to hammer that one away through the onside. He didn't really time it properly. It went straight to Laurie Evans in there at short mid-wicket, who took a good tumbling catch and a breakthrough for Sussex, I should say, in the second over. And it's always a big wicket when Aaron Finch is on his way. He's on his way for 9. And Surrey are 10 for 1 in the second over. Just watching a replay of that dismissal, it was pulled away onto the leg side. He didn't quite time it as expected, Aaron Finch, but Laurie Evans took a good catch in there at short mid-wicket. And Sussex will be absolutely delighted to see the back of Aaron Finch, such a destructive batsman. He makes his way off in the pavilion at the far end of the ground, just making his way up the steps. And Sussex with the breakthrough. And Surrey are 10 for 1 here on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. Live cricket here from the Oval. If you wonder where Mark Church is, well, he's en route. He's been down at Guildford today commentating on the women's game at Woodbridge Road. So Mark will be with us shortly here. As the new batsman comes out, I think is Sam Curran who's coming out. He was on England duties. Wait for confirmation. Yes, indeed, it is Sam Curran, who was in the England squad over at Lord's this morning. He was left out of the match, and so he's made his way across London, and he's batting here at number 3 for Surrey, the left-hander. The field for Curran, 4 men saving 1 on the offside, 3 on the leg, then a third man and a deep mid-wicket. As in comes Wiese and bowls, and that's signalled as a no ball for height. Down the leg side as well, taken by Alex Carey, and there is no run, so it's another single to the total. 12 for 1 are Surrey, as Wiese turns down in front of us. coming into bowl to the left-handed Sam Curran. He's in over the wicket bowls, and Curran works this one down to third man and picks up his first run, fielded right down in the distance there by Will Beer, who gets in the throw on the bounce to the Sussex wicketkeeper Alex Carey. And there's one to Sam Curran. He's got one. Mark Stoneman has got one. Surrey 13 for 1. In the second over, the man Aaron Finch, who was caught by Laurie Evans off of the bowling of David Wiese for 9. In comes Wiese again over the wicket bowls and cut away by Stoneman. A very fine piece of fielding there by Danny Briggs at backward point, and that concludes a good over from David Wiese and a good over for the Sussex Sharks. Surrey 13 for 1 at the end of the second over. Mark Stoneman is on 1. Sam Curran is also on 1, and as I say, the man Aaron Finch, who was caught by Laurie Evans off the bowling of David Wiese for 9. Live cricket here from the Oval on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. It's T20 blast action, a game that Surrey simply have to win if they're going to retain any interest in the T20 this year. Sussex, the only unbeaten side in the competition, and it's going to be Reece Topley who's going to bowl the third over of the Surrey innings. Sussex winning the toss, electing to bowl first. The floodlights are on, and the Oval is beginning to fill up nicely despite the problems there have been on the northern line this evening, and it's Topley running in from the far end of the ground, the pavilion end, as he comes in towards us and bowls short, pulled away, not timed by Sam Curran over mid-wicket. They've taken one, they're going to come back for 2. There could be a run out here, there is going to be a run out. The throw comes in, Carey whips off the bails, and that's a calamitous run out as far as Surrey are concerned. It was pulled away by Sam Curran down to deep mid-wicket. Mark Stoneman was always looking for 2. Sam Curran was a little slow to set off. He rightly sent Stoneman back, but he was halfway down the wicket. The throw came in, Carey whipped off the bails, and a second wicket has gone down. It's the wicket of Mark Stoneman, who's on his way for a single. It was a really good bit of fielding out there. Well, I think that was Rashid Khan. The throw came in. Stoneman was absolutely stranded, and the second wicket has gone down. And Surrey are 13 for 2, and Churchy, that was a bit of a calamity for Surrey.
Well, as I've walked into the box, it doesn't look like it's been the best of starts, this, from Surrey, from what I can see from a distance. I tell you what, trying to get in this ground, dearie me, it's not straightforward, I tell you.
Well, there's been problems on the northern line tonight.
Oh, tell me about it.
And
unbelievable. Anyway, so yes, not exactly the start that Surrey were looking for. 2 down already. Stoneman back in the hutch. Finch has obviously gone as well. I missed that.
Yes, caught up mid-wicket by Laurie Evans. So 13 for 2 are Surrey. Sorry, 14 for 2. I do apologise. In the third over, being bowled by Reece Topley. Tall left arm over the wicket, comes in and bowls to the new batsman. There's misunderstanding again there between the Surrey batsmen. But Jacks goes through for a single. So 15 for 2, halfway through the third over. Yes, welcome, Church. You've had a busy day because you've been commentating down at Guildford today.
Well, yeah, I've been doing Guildford, and then I was well in time to get here on time, and then London Underground decided to absolutely stuff everybody out of sight as usual. They always seem to do it when there's a game on. They're remarkable. Their timing is impeccable.
Yeah, we heard there were problems on the northern line between Morden and Kennington, but the new batsman is Ollie Pope. But in comes Topley, bowls pulled away by Sam Curran, and let's go all the way for 6 runs. Hence the roar from the crowd here at the Oval. It was too short from Reece Topley, and Sam Curran tucked inside the line and pulled the ball away over deep fine leg for 6 runs, and the flamethrowers go up, and that was a good shot by Curran.
It was, and Sam Curran top-footed it from Lords, where obviously he hasn't been selected for the Test match. Sam Curran's been in terrific nick for Surrey in the T20 so far this summer when he's played, and that was a very good shot from Sam Curran. Strange old delivery from Reece Topley. You've got fine leg on the edge of the circle and you're banging it in short.
In comes Topley again over the wicket bowls. That's a better delivery, driven away as far as backward point, and it very nearly carried to Danny Briggs, who fielded the ball on the bounce, and there is no run. 21 for 2 in the third over.
Who won the toss?
Sussex won the toss.
Right, stuck Surrey in,
Surrey in. Sussex have gone with 3 spinners. So no Tymal Mills, has got a slight niggle in his back this evening. Ollie Robinson suffering with a bit of tonsillitis. So Sussex going with the 3 spinners, the 3 seamers being Topley, Chris Jordan and David Wiese, then spin from Briggs, Beer and Rashid Khan. As in comes Topley over the wicket, bowls, and Curran is forward respectfully to good delivery from Topley. Pitched on about middle and off, and he just plays it quietly into the offside. And there is no run. The total remains on 21 for 2. Curran on 8, Pope on 1. Tell us what happened down at Guildford today, Churchy.
Surrey Stars got beaten absolutely comprehensively by Loughborough Lightning. So I think Surrey Stars probably left 60 runs on the pitch, and Loughborough Lightning knocked them down in no time whatsoever. So a very, very good performance from Loughborough Lightning.
In comes Topley, running in over the wicket, bowls, and Curran helps that one down. That's going to be 4 more, and just erring down the leg side there, Reece Topley. That wasn't a great delivery. And Curran, with the fine leg up inside the circle, was able to help himself. You could hear the flames going off again. And another boundary to Sam Curran. So a much better over as far as Surrey are concerned. 25 for 2 they are at the end of the 3rd over. Sam Curran is on 12. Ollie Pope is on 1.
Yeah, and look, going into this, and I'm sure, Mr. Harms, you've discussed all of this, but Sussex have been the form team in the competition. Won 6 out of their 8. Surrey haven't played well in this competition, but they're coming off the back of a win down at Cardiff. The only team they've beaten twice is Glamorgan. Now, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that they could put the greatest run of all time together and get to finals day, but they have got to improve from what they've done so far. As it's Wiese coming in to bowl the 4th over, and this one's cut away by Ollie Pope down towards 3rd man as the throw comes in. 1 bounce over the top of the stumps.
You'd think probably, Churchy, that Surrey would need to win tonight, maybe that win their last 5 to have a chance of qualifying.
Oh, they might not even qualify if they do that, because they'd finish on 15 points, and you know there's lots of teams that could go past them, and their net run rate's not very good. If they lose tonight, that's it, done. Thanks ever so much. As Wiese is in over the wicket to the left-handed Sam Curran, slower ball, and Sam Curran tucks this one into the leg side, and they'll pick up a single. And Sam Curran must be disappointed not to be getting another test at Lords, but will come here, and as I say, he's been the form man for Surrey with the bat, top of the averages, averaging 47.66, a couple of 50s in there, so Surrey will be delighted to have him back, but I'm pretty sure he'd have rather been at Lords. As Pope's forward here to Wiese, quick singles taken, popping that one up towards Luke Wright, and they'll take the single as the throw comes in over the top of the stumps.
Talking of the Test match, Church, Australia 20 for 1 at Lords in reply to England's 251. David Warner, the man out for 3, bowled by Stuart Broad. For Sussex supporters interested in Jofra Archer today, he made 12. And he's bowled 4 overs, 2 maidens, 0 for 3 in his bowling stint so far.
Over the wicket comes Wiese once again. Short ball, that's 6. Don't bowl there to Sam Curran. It's gone miles. I've seen 2 now. It's been caught in the crowd.
Is that £1,000?
That's £1,000 for that gentleman.
Wow!
So he'll be a happy boy.
Look at him, he's going mad.
He is. I can't really understand this tactic though from Sussex at the moment to Sam Curran, because Sam Curran, if you bang it in there, he'll hit you for 6 every ball if you keep banging it in at him. I've seen 2 now, short balls to Sam Curran. They've both gone for 6. That's gone miles.
So get it right, Church. If you catch the ball, it goes for 6. You get £1,000.
It's always the same here. As
wow.
Over the wicket comes Wiese again. This is cut away by Sam Curran. That'll whistle away for 4. Good stuff from Sam Curran. I should think Sussex might get a bit of frustration taken out on them by Sam Curran tonight. And that's a very, very good shot. So he's gone 6-4 here off Wiese. And that's whistled down to the 3rd man boundary rope. Sam Curran on to 23, 38 for 2 in the 4th over, Surrey.
Does that cost the sponsors a few quid, Churchy?
Well, it does if the ball keeps landing in the stands and everybody keeps catching them. That's why I think we have the pitches in the middle now. Area these days, as in comes Wiese once again, slower ball. And that's tucked back up the pitch by Sam Curran, and that rolls back to Wiese. But yeah, it's a strange old tactic that to Sam Curran. I know the boundaries are big here, but Sam Curran, you bang it in on this surface short, and as I say, he loves it, absolutely loves it there. And I know I was a little bit late, but I've seen 2 short balls from Sussex to Sam Curran. They've both gone for 6.
You're listening to Live Cricket on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. Myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Mark Church from the Oval. It looks magnificent this evening. The floodlights are on. Still a few seats not taken with problems on public transport this evening, but all tickets are sold. And Rashid Khan is going to bowl the 5th over for Sussex from the pavilion end. And I was talking to some of my colleagues today about why the Oval sells out, and the whole excitement of the evening. That gentleman, getting the catch, getting £1,000, it just adds to the atmosphere. Really, it's a tremendous venue. 25,000 people inside the ground. You could probably hear the hubbub in our effects microphone. So 38 for 2, pretty much even Stevens really. Sam Curran going along very nicely. He's on 23, and it's going to be Rashid Khan coming into bowl from the pavilion end to the right-handed Ollie Pope. He's in and bowls, and Pope is beaten outside the stump. And a very good bit of wicket keeping there by Alex Carey, who just whipped off the bails, and there is no run. This is Rashid Khan's penultimate game in the competition for Sussex. He's playing tonight and tomorrow at Canterbury, but then he goes off for other commitments. Whether he'll be back later in the competition, we'll have to wait and see. But it's his last group games, as in comes Khan and bowls, and Pope is down the wicket and works that down to long on, where the speedy Chris Jordan comes in and fields. And it's one more to the total, 39 for 2. Pope goes to 4. In terms of the field, there are 3 men saving one on the offside. There's a short third man, a backward point. Now there's a long off, a sweeper on the cover boundary, and 5 men saving one on the onside for Sussex. As in comes Khan to bowl to the left-handed Curran. He's in, and Curran looks to work that one away on the onside, but doesn't time it, and Carey nips from behind the stumps in those natty yellow wicket-keeping gloves and fields, and there is no run. 39 for 2. Khan back to his mark with this fairly straight approach to the wicket of 6 or 7 paces. He's in and bowls, and Curran works this one down the ground, down to long on, and it's Phil Salt who comes running in and fields, gets in the throw to Carey, but not before Curran has gone through for his 24th run of his innings. 40 for 2 are Surrey. Khan just wants a change in his field for the right-handed Pope. He's sending out a deep backward square, so the 2 fielders allowed outside of the circle are a deep backward square and a deep mid-wicket. 5 men saving one on the offside, a mid-on and a short fine leg, as Khan is in again. Bowls, and that turned into Ollie Pope and played to Reece Topley, who fields at backward point, gets in the throw, misses the stumps, but Chris Jordan is backing up for Sussex, and it's another dot ball. Good over this so far from Rashid Khan. 40 for 2, just the 2 runs coming off it so far. And this is the last ball of the over, as in comes Khan again, bowling his leg spin, and Pope works that one down to mid-off. Phil Salt gets in the throw, slightly wild throw, a very wild throw, and that's sloppy cricket from Sussex, because that really should have only been a single. Phil Salt fielding the ball, got the throw in quickly, but it was a wild throw. It eluded Alex Carey. He's gone all the way through for 4 overthrows. A little bit sloppy there from the Sussex Sharks. And an unnecessary 5 runs conceded off the last ball of the over. End of the 5th over here on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. And Surrey are 45 for 2 with Curran on 24 and Pope on 9.
Yeah, that's poor, really, from Sussex, you have to say. Just given Surrey 4 runs. And I should think Jason Gillespie will not be best pleased with that.
No.
Very messy bit of cricket, that from Sussex. So 5 gone, 1 left of the power play. Chris Jordan, who made the most lovely speech yesterday.
He did.
Jofra Archer, when he got his cap down at Lord's. Good stuff from Chris Jordan, that. And he will come in from the Vauxhall end here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC Radio London, as in over the wicket comes Jordan, then to Pope. And Pope's forward and works this one out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope. That's Rawlins who does the fielding. Throw comes in, 1 bounce over the top of the stumps to Carey.
Coming out to Guildford today, Churchy, was there many people watching?
Yeah, it was a good crowd today.
Good.
Really good crowd. Good game of cricket. 46 for 2 here. Yeah, and as I say, Star's first defeat of the competition. And it was pretty straightforward. As I say, they left so many runs out in the middle. And very good from Loughborough Lightning, and winning by 7 wickets with about 5 overs to spare. As Chris Jordan comes in over the wicket to Sam Curran, short, and Sam Curran will whip it off his hip and away for 4. It's a slower one from Chris Jordan, but Sam Curran, I think he's just taking a little bit of frustration out here. He's on to 28, the 50 comes up in this, the final one of the power play, but it was one where Chris Jordan's rolled his fingers over the top. And Sam Curran spotted it very, very early. and whipped it off his hip. And away for 4 it went. Curran 28 out of 50 for 2 now. As Chris Jordan comes in over the wicket. Oh dear, that's way down the leg side. This will be wide signalled. Need to sweep that in the end with Sam Curran. 1 more to the total. 51 for 2. Couple of wickets already for Sussex, but a little untidy so far. Pope with 10 to his name. Sam Curran on 28. But I think with the team at the top of the table, they'll just be a little disappointed with. It hasn't been particularly neat and tidy yet from Sussex. As over the wicket once again comes Chris Jordan. That's wide outside the off stump. That'll be slapped away by Sam Curran, and that'll be 4 more. Whipped from Chris Jordan. Sam Curran throws his hands through it, and it's whistled down to the boundary rope for 4 more. Sam Curran's on to 32. Surrey move on to 55 for 2, but whipped from Chris Jordan on this occasion.
Yeah, it wasn't a good delivery, was it, Churchy? Far too much room outside the assembly. Just struggling for line and length here, Chris Jordan. And look, Wright just having a word to his quick bowler. Chris Jordan's arms are up in the air, but he's got 2 men there back of the square on the offside, and neither of them had a chance of stopping that.
Comes in once again, does Jordan, runs away from us, comes over the wicket to Sam Curran, who's across his stumps looking to work into the leg side. It rolls straight back up to Chris Jordan, and there is no run. The ground's slowly filling up, but as I say, Transport for London, they're remarkable with their timing. Trying to get to Lords last week, Jubilee line was down. Trying to get to here Oval today, Northern line is down. Just don't really get it, do they? As there was a whole mass of people outside coming down the Vauxhall Road earlier. As in over the wicket comes Chris Jordan, goes leg stump, turned away by Sam Curran. Delray Rawlins comes around to do the fielding. They'll get back for 2. 2 more to the total, 2 more to Sam Curran. He's on to 34. Surrey moving on to 57 for 2.
Nice little partnership this, Churchy. 14 for 2 when these two came together. And you would have to say at the moment that probably Surrey have had the better of the power play, despite losing those 2 wickets.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think Sussex will be a bit cross with the way they've gone about their business so far. They just it hasn't been neat and tidy. There's been the 4 overthrows. They've been bowling either side of the wicket. As I say, I think Jason Gillespie won't be too pleased with what he's seen so far. As Jordan is in to Curran, that's 4 more. Curran just waits for this, opens the face, guides it off down to the 3rd man boundary rope. And it's an expensive first over from Chris Jordan. It's very good batting from Sam Curran, but Luke Wright can't really set a field to that. 61 for 2. 6 overs gone, power play done and dusted. Pope on 10, and Sam Curran is on 38.
And batting beautifully as well. You're listening to live cricket on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey. Myself, Adrian Harms, here alongside Mark Church at the Oval in South London, which looks absolutely magnificent. The floodlights are on, the stands filling up rapidly. As Churchy was saying, a few problems on public transport this evening. When it's full, 25,000 people will be shoehorned in here this evening. And of course, not forgetting to our listeners as well on BBC London as well. Danny Briggs is into the Sussex attack, coming into bowl from the pavilion end. He comes in around the wicket, bowls, and Ollie Pope plays this deliberately down the ground to long off, where it's fielded by Phil Salt. And I guess the tactic here from Ollie Pope, Church, is to give the strike to Sam Curran, who's seeing the ball like a football.
Absolutely. And the only problem with that is then Ollie Pope gets his eye in. And Ollie Pope's perfectly capable of launching it himself. So all Luke Wright wants here is a bit of control, I think.
In comes Briggs around the wicket, bowls to Sam Curran, who plays that back to Danny Briggs. That's a fine bit of fielding by Danny Briggs off his own bowling. He was very quickly round to a mid-on position and fielded the ball himself. There is no run. I can see Will Beer, the 3rd spinner in this Sussex side, warming up just down below us, as in comes Briggs. Around the wicket again, bowls. Curran down the wicket, that's huge. That's gone many a mile. Is it going to be caught? No, it's gone over the head of Rashid. Can't only just. He did that. Motoring here, that goes on to 68 for 2.
Yeah, as I say, this just looks like utter frustration being taken out on Sussex by Sam Curran.
In comes Briggs again and bowls, and worked onto the onside by Curran. Alex Carey comes rapidly round from behind the stumps, throws away one of those yellow wicket-keeping gloves and keeps it to just a single. Curran goes to 45. and Surrey to 69 for 2 in the 7th over. Sussex now allowed 4 fielders outside of the circle. I'll give you those in a moment, as in comes Briggs again and bowls, and Pope works that one onto the onside. They've taken 1, they're looking for 2. They won't get it though, because Chris Jordan is very quickly in from long on and completes the field and gets in the throw to Carey, but 1 more to Pope. He goes to 12, and Surrey to 70 for 2 in the 7th over. Briggs with 1 ball to bowl of this over. He's in around the wicket bowl, pulled away by Curran onto the leg side. This time it'll just be the single, fielded by Rashid Khan out at deep mid wicket, keeps it to a single. Curran goes to 46, he'll retain the strike, and Surrey are 71 for 2. Curran 46, Pope on 12. These two coming together when Surrey are in trouble on 14 for 2 with both batsmen back in the pavilion. But these two are batting very nicely indeed, and Luke Wright, as you say, just trying to get a bit of control.
Yeah, well, they've whistled through to this 50-run partnership, and there's a punch of gloves between Messrs Pope and Sam Curran. Now Will Beer comes into the attack for what I think is Will Beer's first game of the comp this season.
Absolutely it is.
So yes. Will Beer coming into the attack, and it will be Sam Curran on strike. This is the start of the 8th over. 71 for 2 Surrey. Sussex, of course, unbeaten in the comp so far, being the form team. As in over the wicket then comes Beer, and his first ball is pushed away by Sam Curran, and they'll pick up a single. I suppose the closest that Sussex have come to being beaten was the tie at home, where dear old Imran Tahir thought Surrey had won, and then had to be told no, they haven't. Poor chap, as he leapt towards the dugout.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, extraordinary game of cricket that turned out to be. 72 for 2 as Ollie Pope on to strike on 12 as Beer is in, and Pope cuts nicely out towards Rawlins on the cover boundary rope, sweeping up his Rawlins, and they'll take another single. Ollie Pope is dealing in singles at the moment. He's quite happy to do that. As Adrian Harms was saying, Sam Curran on form, so Pope just knocking it around, getting Sam Curran onto strike. 47 not out is Sam Curran. Will Beer comes over the wicket to him, short. Oh, he's bowled Sam Curran with the one that goes on. That's a nice bit of bowling from Beer. Has his first wicket of the comp in his first over this summer, and it's 73 for 3.
Well, he is Mr. Reliable, Will Beer, and he's a fine clubman. He's one of these players, and he hasn't played in the first 8 games. He's been left out, but he waits for his chance, and when he gets his chance, he doesn't disappoint. Interesting you were talking about that skidding on, Churchy. I spoke to Luke Wright just after the toss, and he was saying, it's a used track, and they thought the ball may skid on a little bit, and perhaps that's the reason that Sussex have elected to go for the 3 spinners in this game. But boy, that was a wicket that Sussex needed, because Curran and Pope had begun to really set about the bowling. That was a fine partnership, worth 59 between the pair, and Sussex really needed that breakthrough.
Yeah, and they've got it. Now comes Ben Foakes, who is batting at 5 now, and played a lovely little hand against Glamorgan on Sunday to get Surrey over the line with Ollie Pope, because in the Middlesex game, for some bizarre reason, Ben Foakes was just left in the dugout, poor lad. And by the time he got out there, the game was over. So Will Beer comes in over the wicket to Ben Foakes, and Foakes is tucking this one down the ground towards long on. He's off the mark straight away. He'll be busy, Ben Foakes. He always is at the crease. But yeah, Foakes 29 not out on Sunday down at Sophia Gardens alongside this man, Ollie Pope. 13 to Ollie Pope, 74 for 3 as Beer is in, and this one's tucked away by Ollie Pope into the leg side. Will want 2. Ollie Pope will get back for 2. Very good running. Reece Topley had a bit of a way to come in there from deep backward square, and he sort of says to Wiese, are you going for that or am I?
Yeah, probably the 2 fielders there who are not the quickest in the Sussex side, to be fair. I think if Delray Rawlins had been out there, that would have just been a single, but there was always 2 there. I think Pope knew it.
Will Beer is in once again, and this is short and pulled away by Ollie Pope out towards Rawlins on that mid-wicket boundary row. End of the over, 8 gone, at the wicket of Sam Curran, and Surrey 77 for 3.
Live cricket here on the BBC from BBC Surrey, BBC Sussex and BBC London. A very good evening to wherever you're listening to. High time we caught up with the travel on the roads of Surrey and Sussex. Let's get the very latest from Sylvie Blackmore. So it's going to be Danny Briggs who's going to carry on from the pavilion end of the ground, coming into bowl to the right-handed Ben Foakes, who just takes guard. In fact, it's Ollie Pope who's on strike. I do apologise. 77 for 3. In comes Briggs and bowls and worked into the offside. And just picks up a single. Does Pope. He goes to 17 and the total to 78 for 3. Briggs back to his mark as Ben Foakes, number 7 on his back, takes strike. The spinner's just giving Luke Wright a bit of control here. Chris Jordan was expensive. His one over just went for 16. As in comes Briggs and bowls, and Foakes is forward and works this one down the ground to long off, where it's fielded by Phil Salt, who gets in the throw to Alex Carey, the Sussex wicketkeeper. One more to the total, which goes on to 79 for 3. Foakes on 2 in the 9th over. As in comes Briggs again around the wicket. Bowls pushed that one through a little bit more, did Danny Briggs. It clipped down the ground by Pope for a single, fielded there by Chris Jordan. The total goes on to 80 for 3. The ground filling up, probably about 90% full now. The spectators have been delayed making their way in. Briggs again around the wicket. Bowls, and forward comes Foakes and works that one past Danny Briggs, who was diving across at mid-off trying to prevent the single, but he didn't prevent that single, and Foakes goes to 3. 81 for 3. And comes Briggs again around the wicket. He's in and bowls and works away to short fine leg, fielded by David Wiese, who gets in the throw taken by Adam Carey. And again there is one more to the total, which goes to 82 for 3. Welcome back to our listeners on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey after that travel update from Sylvie. In comes Danny Briggs around the wicket, comes in and bowled, worked down to long on by Ben Foakes. He goes to 4, and Surrey 83 for 3 at the end of the 9th over. Nice tidy over that from Danny Briggs. So 9 overs gone, floodlights on brightly. Lots of high level cloud around, but I think we're going to be okay with the weather. And, well, I reckon this is about even Stevens, Churchy. 83 for 3 after 9 overs.
Yeah, I think Surrey would have loved Sam Curran to keep going. Ben Foakes and Ollie Pope batted very well, as I say, together down at Sophia Gardens. They've got plenty of overs to bat. And Will Beer will bowl our 10th over from the pavilion end. Sylvie could have just come to me there for the travel update. London Underground. Rubbish, as this is cut by Ben Foakes out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary rope. One more to the total. Foakes moves on to 5. 84 for 3. Pope coming back onto strike on 19. Finch, Stoneman and Sam Curran all gone. Finch for 9, Stoneman for 1 and Sam Curran for 47. As in over the wicket goes Beer, and Ollie Pope using his feet feels he's missed out a touch there, I think. Full toss and whipped it out towards Rawlins. As the throw comes in, and they'll pick up another single. One more to Ollie Pope. He's on to 20, but the key thing here is Surrey still have 10 overs to bat, which is a long time in T20 cricket. As Will Beer spins the ball in his fingers once again and then comes in over the wicket to Ben Foakes, who's pushing down the ground towards long off. They'll pick up 1 as the throw comes in. Just to say as well, of course, this game being streamed on the Surrey website, so if you want to have a little look at the pictures and listen to me and Mr. Harms, pop across to the Surrey website and you can see everything I'm getting wrong, which is absolutely tremendous for everybody. But no, those pictures, the streaming Adam behind us doing his tricks, as looking to cut is Ollie Pope. That one fizzed in a bit more by Will Beer. That rolls out there towards extra cover and there's no run. Yes, I think just about everybody's got here now. After the underground, well, the northern lines doesn't seem to be going anywhere at the moment. As in comes Beer again, using his feet as Ollie Pope tucks his leg side, wants to, they won't get to because Will Beer is quickly round to do the fielding. Because again, for this game, we're slap bang in the middle of the square, so we're using all the outfield, so it's a massive old carry. It's the way it should be. We should be looking to use the whole expanse in T20 cricket. 87 for 3. Just makes the batsman work hard. Angles key in this game, as using his feet is Ollie. Ben Foakes, apologies, works this one down towards Chris Jordan at long on, and Jordan, who's wearing one of the most snazzy sort of arm,
yes, he is,
stocking type things I've ever seen. It's camouflaged. He picks up a single, does Ben Foakes. End of the over, so halfway point here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey, BBC London. 88 for 3 Surrey. Ollie Pope 21 and Ben Foakes on 7.
And just keeping you right up to date with the Test match. Close of play at Lords. Australia are 30 for 1 in their first innings after England bowled out for 258. Rory Burns making a half century. He made 53. A half century as well for Johnny Bairstow. And they will resume tomorrow at Lords at 11 o'clock. David Warner, the man out for Australia for 3. A wicket there for Stuart Broad. Bit of sunshine across the oval as in comes Rashid Khan to bowl to Ben Foakes, who plays that one in the air down to long on. Fielded there in the sunshine by Chris Jordan, who gets in the throw, and it's one more to the total. Foakes goes to 8, the total 89 for 3.
It was a lovely afternoon down in Guildford. The sun came out, very nice.
In comes Khan, bowls short, pulled away by Pope, who's a little annoyed with himself. He wanted to make more of that, fielded by Ben Foakes, not by Ben Foakes, wanted to work by Delray Rawlins, who gets in the throw, and the total goes to 90 for 3. Khan already back at his mark, and he waits for Foakes to settle. In comes Khan and bowls, and Foakes works that one on the leg side, backward of square. He's looking for 2. I don't think he'll get the second because Laurie Evans was very quickly in and gets in the throw to Alex Carey, and it's just one more to the total.
Sorry, smart haircut from Laurie Evans.
Laurie, it is smart, isn't it?
I can see it from here. Yep. Is that the reason he's not wearing a cap? I wonder. He normally does. Back here oval, no cap.
In comes Khan and bowls again and worked away onto the onside again by Pope. He picks up a single, fielded again by Rawlins, who's very quick across the ground and prevents a single. He's going to miss a couple of games in this T20 now, Delray Rawlins, because he's going back to Bermuda.
Is he?
To play in the a knockout competition over there representing Bermuda.
Lovely.
In comes Khan and bowls, and it's another single as Foakes plays it firmly down the ground, fielded by Chris Jordan in the shaft of sunlight at the pavilion end. He gets in the throw. It's another single to Foakes. He goes to 10.93 for 3.
Taking over after David Hemp. Do you remember David Hemp?
I do.
Captain Glamorgan. He clapped in Bermuda.
Did he?
Yes. I think his mum and dad went on holiday there once, so that made him eligible. No, I think there's something, but he managed to work out that he could play.
That's not bad.
Glamorgan's David Hemp ending up captaining Bermuda. Lovely gig that.
Khan again. Off half a dozen paces, comes in, bowls his leg spinners and down the wicket is Foakes and plays it to mid-on, fielded there by Luke Wright. That's a good over by Rashid Khan, which he just conceded the 4 runs. Surrey 93 for 3, Pope on 23, Foakes on 10. Bowling figures for Sussex. Rashid Khan has now bowled his 2 overs for just 12 runs. Reece Topley 2 overs for 18. David Wiese 2 overs for 20, including a wicket. Chris Jordan expensive, his 1 over, 0 for 16. Daniel Briggs 2 overs for 16, and Will Bear accurate as ever, 2 overs, 1 for 11. Live cricket here on the BBC, BBC Surrey, BBC Sussex, BBC London. Myself, Adrian Harms, and Mark Church.
So it's going to be Will Bear again, down below us from the Vauxhall end of the ground. Ben Foakes is 10 not out, very busy as always. Ben Foakes chips this one into the leg side using his feet. Chris Jordan, are you taking the arm on Ollie Pope? You are, and you're going to get safely home.
That didn't miss.
Ollie Pope's head by very much.
That was very, very close, wasn't it?
And will go. Wiese will take the catch on the edge of the circle. Will Bear has a second wicket at just the right. Now got Ben Foakes for 12, and Luke Wright will be happy with this now. 95 for 4. Surrey in this, the 12th over of their 20.
Will be absolutely thrilled, and will be with certainly have played a part in this competition from Friday onwards, with Rashid Khan leaving Sussex for the last 4 matches of the group campaign. But great for Wilbur to get an opportunity tonight, and he's grabbed that opportunity with both hands. I think he's bowled really well, and at a time, Churchy, when really Surrey were getting after the other bowling, and Luke Wright's probably thinking, I need to turn to someone reliable here, and he's found that in Will Beer.
There's a change in role for Will Jacks. He's coming in at 6 today. He's opened, he's been number 3, today he's number 6. As Will Beer is in, over the wicket to Ollie Pope, leading edge. Looking to turn against the spin there was Ollie Pope. That could have easily gone straight to Luke Wright in there at short extra cover, and there's a single actually for Ollie Pope. Jacks is averaging 20 in the comp this season. He's played every game, but as I say, he's been up and down the order. Today he's number 6, and he comes on to strike for the first time. The right-handed Will Jacks, as Beer is into him, and Jacks is down the pitch straight away, driving down to the left of Phil Salt. And I saw a picture of Phil Salt today on the Guildford wall.
Oh, yes.
First-class cricketers, looking very smart he was. And 1 more to the total, and the first run for Will Jacks. 97 for 4. Surrey. 12th over. As over the wicket goes Beer again, and this is tucked away by Ollie Pope out towards deep backward square. There's Reece Topley coming in to do the fielding, and they'll pick up 1 more. So Reece Topley, this is Topley's 7th game now, I think.
Yes, he's.
So has he played 7 on the spin?
No.
Has he had a break?
He's been in and out the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
As over the wicket comes Will Beer, and this one's chipped straight back to him, and Will Jacks has gone. And Will Jacks goes for 1.
He's a hugely popular member of the Sussex squad, is Will Beer, and I think for that reason he seems to be one of these people, and I guess you get them in all clubs, Churchy, the guy who he's often seems to be, he's 12th man or left out of the side, but doesn't go away and sulk and throw his toys out the pram and threaten to leave and all sorts of things like that. He's just a very reliable bowler, and he's been a bit more than that tonight. And it was just when Sam Curran was really getting after the bowling, Chris Jordan had gone for 16 in an over, and Luke Wright was probably getting a bit desperate about, I need someone to haul this back for Sussex. And it's exactly what Will Beer has done, because at one stage, Surrey was 73 for 2. That was just after 7.5 overs. And we're rattling along at a good speed. So he's picked up those 3 wickets, and it's now going to be Danny Briggs, who's back into the attack from the pavilion end, comes in and bowls to Pope, much relying now on Ollie Pope. He plays that firmly to mid-off, fielded by, who's that out there? Phil Salt. Keeps it to a single, and Pope goes to 26. He's been joined by Tom Curran, who's no mean batsman at all. So let's not think that Surrey haven't got anyone left in the tank, because they've still got Jordan Clarke to come as well.
Yeah, averaging 14.5 in the comp this season. Tom Curran.
Briggs
got 31.
Briggs bowls to Curran, helps it into the onside. They've taken 1. They'll come back for 2. They'll need to be quick as Rawlins gets in the throw. And it wasn't the best of throws. He was a little slow, I thought, off the boundary edge there, Delray Rawlins, and Curran comes back for a 2nd run. And the Surrey 100 is up.
Are his games for Bermuda home games, or is it a competition?
I think they are home games. I think they're in Bermuda, I think. In comes Briggs and bowls, and played into the offside by Curran. He gets a single fielded out by Reece Topley, sweeping on the cover boundary. Yes, I really ought to. I think it probably warrants someone from BBC Sussex going out to cover it, really.
Do they need a commentator?
Well, I just wonder,
more than happy, or a media man or something.
Yeah, someone to go and report on cricket in Bermuda.
Go and live in Bermuda for a bit.
In comes Briggs and bowls, and cut away by Pope to backward point, fielded by Khan, and there is no run. I think I might suggest that to the boss. I'm not sure of a favourable reply, but it's, you never know.
You see, I've got my deck chair business that I want to get off the ground at some point. That might be the time.
In comes Briggs and bowls, and Pope struck on the pad as he looks to work that way on the onside. He's annoyed with himself, is Ollie Pope. But so all of a sudden, the Sussex spinners have got the strangle on here.
Very good.
102 for 5.
Will Beer has turned this entire innings on its head.
Yep. His mark. Sun shining brightly here at the Oval as Briggs is in and bowls, and played down the ground by Ollie Pope to long on, fielded by Chris Jordan. 1 more to the total, and that's another good over as far as Sussex are concerned. The end of the 13th over. And Surrey 103 for 5 here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Live from the Oval, myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Mark Church. Half the ground is in bright sunshine, the other in shade. The floodlights are on, 25,000 people shoehorned into the ground. Wonderful sight, and at the minute, I think Sussex will be slightly happier of the two sides.
Well, I think they'll be delighted, because you look at this Sussex batting lineup. Top four: Salt, 256 runs in the competition. Luke Wright, 241 runs in the competition. Laurie Evans, 148 runs, and then Carey, who's only played the 5 games, 132. So with that sort of form in your top four, you're going to be pretty confident. Jade, there's a little leading edge from Ollie Pope, looking to go against the spin again, and Will Beer tosses it up, and it's down towards Phil Salt at long off, and one more to the total. Ollie Pope moves on to 28, 104 for 5. Just looking, this is Beer's final over.
Yeah.
So he will bowl through. He's got 3 wickets already. He's into Tom Curran, and Tom Curran looks to drive, thick inside edge. That rolls down towards Chris Jordan at long on. They'll pick up one more. One more to Tom Curran. He moves on to 4, 105 for 5, but he's a pretty good man to be able to turn to, Will Beer. As I say, he's around this one with both hands tonight. Fair play to him. 3 wickets, 3 important wickets as well, as Beer is in. Ollie Pope's down the pitch, turns this one leg side. Oh no, stuffed Wiese. He's run across the field, that it's spun, and he ran to his left, and then it's spun to his right there at short fine leg.
It's all a bit embarrassing of that. Poor old David Wiese. In front of all an ironic cheer as he slipped.
Shows that Beer's given it a fizz though.
Yes.
107 for 5. As Beer is over the wicket again to the right-handed Pope. That's short and pulled by Ollie Pope. Out towards Reece Topley. Deep backward square. Topley does the field. Throw comes in one bounce over the top of the stumps. They'll pick up another single.
I just hope the tall South African is okay. I'm not sure whether he jarred his knee there. He's just flexing it at a short fine leg. Maybe he's trying to kid us all, but he did look at a little bit of discomfort, so we'll keep an eye on that.
3 for 21 for Will Beer. As over the wicket he comes down to Tom Curran, and Curran nudges him leg side. Now they'll think about 2 again, but Beer will do the fielding off his own bowling. Very good slide, pick up and throw from Will Beer. And 1 ball to come in this spell, 3 for 22. And those 3 wickets, Sam Curran, Ben Foakes, Will Jacks.
Nice.
Yeah, very good. Well, he's taken out the middle order really, isn't he? And it's been a very fine performance this from Will Beer. Final ball of the 14th over. Will Beer, a couple of steps and then over the wicket he comes to Ollie Pope. It's a short ball and Pope cuts, and Luke Wright does the fielding in there at short extra cover. And end of the over, well bowled Will Beer. Terrific spell, 3 for 22 off his 4, 14 gone here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Surrey being stuck in by the Sussex Sharks. 6 overs left and they're 109 for 5.
And I have to say, I'm always impressed, Churchy, by your ability to multitask, because Churchy was reading out all of those stats earlier on. He's got a notebook next to us, which is immaculately maintained in beautiful writing.
Really boring.
It's the sort of writing you don't see anymore. It's beautifully neat and tidy.
Thank you.
With every stat that you could want in this competition at his fingertips. You put me to shame. Rashid Khan is coming in to bowl his 3rd over. He comes in and bowls. A nice leg break there to Tom Curran. It deceived Curran, but he managed to work it away into the covers for a single. The total goes to 110 for 5. How on earth do you manage to do that, Church, and commentate on the game?
It's really rather sad, Adrian Harms, but I really enjoyed doing this the day before the game. I like my couple of hours of... I just like the numbers.
Well,
it's pathetic, I know, but
no,
I
it's
just
beautifully
like the
done.
numbers.
In comes Khan, bowls pulled away by Foakes. He's thinking to be caught. No, by Pope, rather he'd be caught. No, he's gone for 4 runs. 2 players on the legs.
Inside out to play that, Ollie Pope, because his bat legs come in front of his front leg, and then he's reversed it. Extraordinary shot from Ollie Pope.
He goes to 35, 114 for 5. Khan in again, and Pope works that one down to long on. Chris Jordan is very quickly in from underneath the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion. He picks up a single, does Pope. He goes to 36, and the total to 115 for 5. Floodlights shining brightly despite the sunshine being out. As in comes Khan again, in and bowls, and Curran works that one onto the leg side. They're looking for two here. Laurie Evans very quickly in from deep backward square and does well, does Laurie Evans, and gets in the throw very quickly on the bounce to Alex Carey, who gives Evans a nice round of applause for just keeping that to 116 for 5. Curran to 7. Khan already back to his mark. Isn't that lovely buzz around the ground? As in comes Khan again and bowls, and he gave that one a real leg spinner as Pope just plays that one down the ground, fielded by Salt on long off. Another single to Pope. He goes to 38, 117 for 5. Curran, that's a nice looking shot out as far as Topley, who's fielding on the practice wickets over on the offside. He gets in the throw on the bounce to Alex Carey. Is the end of another over, and Surrey at the end of the 15th over are 118 for 5. Ollie Pope is on 37. Tom Curran is on 8. 5 overs to go here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. If you're tuning in for your normal Thursday night listening, well, it's cricket all the way through now until 10 o'clock live here from the Oval. And just a plug for tomorrow evening as well, when Sussex will be going to Canterbury, weather permitting, for the next game in the T20, and that's a game you can hear live on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see that Ollie Pope shot again against Rashid Khan as Briggs from the Vauxhall end, coming in left arm round the wicket to Tom Curran. Of course, with the old live stream and Adam behind us, sometimes, if I say it loud enough,
you might get to see it again.
Because I'm absolutely convinced that his bat leg went in front of his front leg, and then he reverse swept it for 4. As this one turns from Briggs down towards backward point. Nicely played, actually, that by Ollie Pope. Bit of spin there for Briggs, just stuck in the pitch a bit. Yeah, and Ollie Pope's just indicating that to Briggs. 120 for 5. As waiting once again is Tom Curran, and this is whipped down the ground by Tom Curran. Pick up another single, one more to the total, one more to Tom Curran.
He's very quick between the wickets, Curran, isn't he? He's always looking for that second run and trying to put pressure on the fielders, but Chris Jordan was up to the task, but he's always looking for that misfield.
Round the wicket he goes again, does Briggs, tucked away into the leg side by Ollie Pope, and they'll pick up another single. One more to the total, 122 for 5. Surrey, well, I think on this you need at least 160, 170 against this Sussex batting lineup. As this one's tucked away by Tom Curran into the leg side. They want 2, they'll get 2. That's well played on the angles by Tom Curran.
Could get 3 here.
Ollie Pope, and they will get 3. And again, that's a bit messy from Sussex.
Very
Wright
messy.
Sort of saying to Rawlins, what was that throw about?
Well, I think to be honest, Churchy, Delray Rawlins was a little slow for me coming in off the boundary. I'm not sure there was 2 there really, but when the throw came in, it was a wild throw, and Luke Wright is saying you should have thrown the ball to the keeper. That was a sloppy run to concede.
And that's 5 they've given Surrey, as this one's chipped down the ground by Ollie Pope. He'll just take a single this time as Phil Salt gets the throw away.
Yeah, that was good.
Carey. Front foot, and then he reverse sweeps it for 4. It's an extraordinary shot from Ollie Pope. Thank you, Adam. But wowee, Ollie Pope there, he's just stuck his back foot, bat leg in front of his front leg, and then turned himself around and reverse swept it. That's against Rashid Khan. These kids, honestly.
Well, he's going to bowl the next over, Rashid Khan. 3 overs, 0 for 21. The Sussex spinners have done a good job. Will Beer has been bowled out 4 overs, 3 for 22. As in comes Khan to bowl to the right-handed Ollie Pope, who just plays this one back of square on the leg side, fielded by David Wiese. And he picks up another single, does Pope. He goes to 41. And Surrey to 127 for 5. Khan bowling from the pavilion end. Comes running in again and bowls, and Curran plays this deftly onto the leg side. They've taken 1, they'll think about 2, but Alex Carey it was, the Sussex wicketkeeper, who came racing around from behind the stumps and fielded the ball at mid-wicket, taking off that yellow wicket-keeping glove, but not before Curran had gone through for another single. He goes to 14, 128 for 5.
Yeah, and Ollie Pope's playing a lovely little hand here, but he knows now he's going to have to push the button.
Khan In again, the Afghan leg spinner bowls and swept away by Pope down to deep mid-wicket. It's a lovely shot, as Churchy was saying. There are two men out on the leg side, patrolling that leg side.
He's literally playing that off his bat leg. His bat leg is becoming his front leg, and then he's reverse sweeping. It's an extraordinary bit of batting from Ollie Pope.
Well,
he's not just a batsman, he's a very naughty boy with shots like that, Adrian. Is Ollie Pope. It's a brilliant piece of batting, that.
And he's got two fielders, Rashid Khan, protecting that leg side boundary. They're probably only about 20 yards apart. He bisected them both. In comes Khan again. Pope drives firmly down the ground. They'll think about two again, but there isn't two there because it's the ever-reliable Chris Jordan, who's very quickly in from the long-on boundary. Gets in the throw. One more to Pope. He goes to 46. And Surrey to 133 for 5, having been put in by Sussex this evening at a packed oval. As in comes Khan again over the wicket, bowled short, cut away by Curran to Reece Topley, who comes running in off the cover boundary, gets in the throw. It's one more to Curran. He goes to 15, and the Surrey total to 135 for 5. Apologies, 134 for 5. Khan in again, bowls, and Pope again pulls this one away. He's not going to get a boundary this time onto the leg side. It's fielded by Delray. Rawlins at deep mid-wicket. He gets in the throw. It's the end of the over, the end of the 70. And BBC London. Let's rejoin Sylvie Blackmore. So, 3 overs to go, Churchy. You said you thought, 160, 170. They're going to have to go a little bit to get that, but with Pope there, you never know.
Yeah, they need another 30 off these, minimum of 30 off these last 3. That will get them up to 165, 170. You've then got something to defend. You have to bowl well on here against this Sussex batting lineup, but you can defend on here because the boundaries are so big, and we're using the full expanse of the Kia Oval. It's going to be Chris Jordan into the attack. This is Ollie Pope's, well, he made 47 in his first innings back for Surrey since his dislocated shoulder in the T20. He's 47 not out here, and it's Chris Jordan down below us to bowl the 18th over from the Vauxhall end. Coming in over the wicket to Ollie Pope, who tucks him into the leg side. Wants two here, Ollie Pope. He's not going to get them. Rawlins a bit quicker this time.
Yes,
keeps it down to 1.
And Chris Jordan would have not been at all happy if that had got 2 there. He was looking at Delray Rawlins saying, come on, get that throw in quickly, which he did. Conceded 16 off his first over, Churchy, so Chris Jordan under a little bit of pressure here.
Tom Curran back onto strike on 15. Good little partnership this. 38 it's worth. As settling himself down over his bat is the right-handed Tom Curran, as this is a slower one from Jordan. Nicely played by Tom Curran. Got that one to turn a touch, I think, did Chris Jordan. Just rolled his fingers over the top of it, spun back a bit, that one, at Tom Curran. And welcome back to listeners on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Thank you there to Sylvia for the travel. Still bad in London. That will about sum it up, I think. It sounds like as well, had I gone on my route to Clapham Junction, because I went to Waterloo, I'd have been stuffed trying to get here to Vauxhall. Yes. It sounds like the train's overground. Oh dear. As Ollie Pope of 48, in over the wicket comes Chris Jordan, bowls him with his Yorker that we all know about. That's why Chris Jordan's so good. And he knocks Ollie Pope.
After that opening over costing 16, but I guess that's what you get with a player of the experience of Chris Jordan. He's put that opening over, which wasn't a great over, completely to the back of his mind, and he's come back into the attack and picked up a really important wicket at an important time, because all the time Ollie Pope was there, Surrey would be thinking that 160, maybe 165 was on the cards, and it might as well still be. but an important wicket to pick up. Also saying, Church, I mean, the Sussex spinners have done a good job here. Rashid Khan, 4 overs for 30, Danny Briggs 4 overs for 29, and Will Beer 4 overs for 22. So what's that, 52... my maths is awful. 52, 81, I think those 12 overs have gone for from the spinners, and he'd settle for that in T20 cricket.
I just wonder whether Will Jacks might get a bowl tonight. Then over the wicket comes Chris Jordan to Jordan Clarke, who's in behind a short ball, pushing this one back up the pitch, and there's no run, because Surrey's spinning options are Batty and Tahir, and I just wonder whether Will Jacks might get a little twirl tonight as well, because we've seen the spinners have been very good. He's only bowled the 1 over so far in the competition, Will Jacks, this season. Jordan Clarke makes his way out to the middle, faced that first ball, and Jordan Clarke averaging 22 in the comp this season. Nice score of 45. And 137 for 6, Surrey, as in comes Chris Jordan to Jordan Clarke, and Jordan Clarke is trying to run that one down to third man, but again, I think he's just rolled his fingers over the top of that. As Chris Jordan, very good over this from Chris Jordan. Yes, his first one went for 16, but this is a bloke who's bowled at the death all round the world. He knows exactly what he's up to. And we've seen the Yorker, seen a couple of slower balls from Chris Jordan. Jordan Clarke settles himself down over his bat. He's got 3 men back on the leg side rope. Third man and a sweeper is his 5 outside the circle. He's in again, Chris Jordan. This is a full delivery, which Jordan Clarke slaps down towards third man. Rashid Khan does the fielding, gets the throw in over the top of the stumps. Terrific over that from Chris Jordan. The wicket of Ollie Pope, 138 for 6, 2 overs remaining. I did actually comment that when we first saw Chris Jordan back in 2007, his debut for Surrey, we all knew he had a God-given talent for cricket. But after hearing his speech, I didn't realise he had a God-given talent for oration, because it was a wonderful speech.
Yes, it was.
To Jofra Archer yesterday.
Yeah, it was. For those that missed it, you can see that on social media, various outlets. Chris Jordan making a speech to Jofra Archer, as Churchy was saying, as Jofra Archer got his England cap presented at Lord's yesterday. And it was heartfelt as well. And they are, you know, we've said it a million times on this radio station. It's the reason Jofra Archer is here is because of Chris Jordan. Forget anything else. That's why he's here. And it was a real honour for Chris to do that, and just shows their friendship. Anyway, 2 overs to go. In comes Reece Topley around the wicket. Bowl short, pulled away by Jordan Clarke to deep mid-wicket. They've taken 1, they'll come back for 2. Fielded out there by Laurie Evans, who gets in the throw. 140 for 6. Clarke 3. Curran on 16.
The other thing I saw today is I think over £300,000 has been raised today for the Ruth Strauss Foundation.
Yeah, wonderful.
Which is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, people dressed in red at Lord's today. As in comes Topley around the wicket, bowls, and that's a slower delivery from Reece Topley. And well, Jordan Clarke was going to pull that one away on the leg side, but he was through the shot before the ball had even arrived. And the ball goes through to Alex Carey, and there is no run.
Going to be below par here, sorry.
Yes, wonderful effort, £300,000. That's extraordinary. And a very moving podcast as well on the BBC website as well, with Andrew Strauss, Glenn McGrath and Jonathan Agnew, which is worth a listen as well. As in comes Topley, bowls, hit straight down the ground. Is he going to be caught along off? That's gone all the way. That's 6 runs. That's a huge hit down the ground by Jordan Clarke, over pitched by Reece Topley. To long off into the dugout, so I don't think you get £1,000 if you're a player and you catch the ball down there. That was a big hit, and just what Surrey needed at this stage of proceedings. Topley back to his mark, and comes running in again from the pavilion end in the penultimate over. Bowls, he's at it again, he's driven away. Is that going to be 6 more? It is 6 more, slightly wider of long off. So successive blows from Jordan Clarke. My penultimate over, back-to-back 6s from Clarke.
He's inches out there, Reece Topley from the Yorker. But what he's doing is he's aiming for the shortest part of the ground as well, Jordan Clarke.
Topley in again, bowls. He's at it again, high, wide. Is he going to be caught? I think he is going to be caught at long off. Yes, indeed, he is caught. Well, he tried it 3 times in a row. Phil Salt and took the catch, but Jordan Clarke is on his way, and Surrey 152 for 7 in the penultimate over of the innings.
Yeah, and Reece Topley's held his nerve there, but you can see what Jordan Clarke was trying. Again, shortest part of the ground that, but just a little bit further up that time. Reece Topley, he was at inches out with the first two and got punished. That one got it about right, and Phil Salt made that look pretty easy, actually.
Yes, he did. Yes, it wasn't that easy. It was up there a long time as well, Phil Salt, but he dismissively took the catch. So, the new man in is Jade Dernbach, the Surrey skipper. He's going to join Tom Curran, who's on 16. 1 ball to go of this penultimate over. Sussex have really rattled through their overs, you know. That's what happens when you get 3 spinners. As in comes Topley, comes in and bowls, and forward is Curran, and he takes a single, and he'll be happy to take the strike if he can in this final over. Will Tom Curran, 152 for 7 here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Live cricket from the Oval, a sunlit oval, lots of blue sky overhead. The floodlights are on, a sellout crowd of 25,000 here. 1 over to go. I'm Adrian Harms, and describe the final over of this Surrey innings is Mark Church.
This game's reminding me, Surrey, I think, will have to do the sort of thing they did against Glamorgan, which was Surrey were 141 off their 20 and then bowled Glamorgan out for 44. Now, Tom Curran took a hat-trick in the second over, but you just feel with Surrey possibly below par here, well, I think they are below par, they're going to have to bowl out their socks tonight. If you can do that. I don't know whether you can roll out your socks. Crowd are loving this though. There's all the kids jumping around. Half-time entertainment. We'll wait to see what that is. Last week I saw Messrs Key, Nash, and who was the other one? Mal Jones, hermetically sealed in inflatable cricket balls at Lord's. I'm not sure I ever want to see that again, to be honest with you. As Chris Jordan with the final over, coming in from the Vauxhall end. Length delivery is put away by Tom Curran because he's got mid-off up. And Tom Curran slotted it. Sussex go out there to bat. Is that Luke Wright is 59 runs away from 7,500 T20 runs. It's ridiculous. I know he's played a lot of T20, but honestly, in over the wicket once more comes Chris Jordan, and this one's driven by Tom Curran down towards long on. Phil Salt, one-handed pick-up, brilliant from Phil Salt. Oh, is Tom Curran safely home? He is.
Yeah, he is.
But that was brilliant from Phil Salt. I think he's wondering whether he should have gone to the bowler's end.
Yes.
But it was still...
It just goes to show how key he is, Luke Wright, to Sussex.
I know he's played all round the world, but that is a ridiculous amount of runs in T20 cricket, isn't it? What a player. As Chris Jordan in over the wicket to Tom Curran. Good innings this from Curran is over because he's had a look to go down the ground. You miss, I hit from Chris Jordan.
For 16 runs, but he's really responded very well indeed, picking up the wicket of Ollie Pope and now the wicket of Tom Curran. So
below par.
You think below par?
Yeah, definitely. They're going to have to bowl.
I mean, Surrey have got in terms of spinning options. I mean, you know, Batty is a widely campaigner. He bowled so well down at Hove, didn't he? And Imran Tahir as well.
Actually, you say that as well. You know, with that game at Hove, Surrey looked out of it and somehow managed to tie it. I just think you look at that top 4 for Sussex, and we read the stats out earlier, didn't we? They're all in form. So you've got to knock those 4 over very sharp.
And certainly since the game at Hove, that top 4 supplemented by Alex Carey.
Well, Carey's
who's a fine player.
Absolutely.
And he's going to play in the Championship as well. He's going to play in the game against Middlesex, which starts at Hove on Sunday.
159 for 8. As in over the wicket comes Chris Jordan, and well bowled the Yorker to Gareth Batty first up outside the off stump, and the dive from Jade Dernbach because Carey was having a little roll back towards the stumps. I think Jade's trousers came down there for a second. 160 for 8 by is the signal. Surrey trying to take every run that's on offer at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess from where Surrey were, they were 73 for 2 halfway through the 8th over with Sam Curran going like a train. So Sussex will be pleased, I think. I mean, Curran's 47 came off just 24 balls, Churchy, 5 fours and 3 sixes.
Well, Surrey, of course, were chasing at Hove, but still managed to get a tie. As now the paddle is out from Jade Dernbach, and he's thrown himself off his feet playing that, and he'll get a single.
He dropped his bat.
It's not the most. Top for the single, Jade Dernbach, and as I say, it's not the most elegant single you're ever going to see, but it is a single for Jade Dernbach to get off the mark. 161 for 8, 1 ball remains.
I don't think Chris Jordan was too impressed by that.
Yes, I think he'll quite enjoyed it though. As in comes Jordan, then over the wicket to Gareth. Batty swinging down the ground. Full toss, was it above waist high? They'll check with the square leg umpire. They'll come back for 2. The throw from Wiese. Tie, he's not going to get it though, and that is the end of the innings. So 2 off the final ball, 163 for 8, Dernbach 1, Batty 2. I think Surrey are below par. I think they'll have to bowl out of their skins, but it's been entertaining, if nothing else, and well bowled Will Beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a reminder of Will Beer's figures. In fact, the Sussex spinner's doing a really good job. Will Beer, 4 overs, 3 for 22, and he came into the attack at a time when Surrey were flying. They were 73 for 2 when Will Beer came into the attack, and he's picked up really important wickets. Sam Curran for 47, Ben Foakes for 12, and then Will Jacks for just a single. So he's very much been the standout bowler. But all the Sussex spinners have bowled well. Danny Briggs, 4 overs, 0 for 29, and Rashid 4 overs, 0 for 30. David Wiese picking up a wicket. Reece Topley a bit expensive in the end, 1 for 33, and Chris Jordan at the end doing a good job, is 3 overs, 2 for 28. Sam Curran top scorer, Ollie Pope top scoring with 48, Sam Curran 47. You know this ground better than most, Churchy. Would you say it's a little light? 10, 15 light?
Yeah, definitely. You want 200 here if you can. But the only thing I would say is, because we're using the whole surface area again and the pitch is right in the middle, you can defend on here, but Surrey are going to have to bowl exceptionally well tonight. They really are, against that top 4 for Sussex, who, as we were saying, but Salt, Wright, Evans, Carey, they're all in form. Wiese, of course, has already scored runs against Surrey in that one-day game.
Yes.
So I think any chance that comes Surrey's way, they're going to have to cling on to. And I think what will disappoint Surrey is, as you said, when they were 73 for 2 in the 8th over, and then Will Beer bowled Sam Curran for a brilliant 47, and then suddenly by the 12th over it was 98 for 5. So I tell you what that noise was, everybody. That was a T-shirt that's just been launched up onto our gantry down below us, and the cameraman has got himself a T-shirt.
Yes.
So there you are. That was you probably heard the sound of the thud of that. Last time I heard a thud like that was when a pigeon flew straight into the window. But thankfully this time it was just a rolled up T-shirt.
And the noise around the ground, there's all sorts goes on. For those of you who've never been to a T20 match, 25,000 people here tonight, and now they're going to be entertained during the interval. There's a red car going around the outfield, and T-shirts being launched out of a sort of a little blaster into the crowd. There's also some entertainment going on down below. So that's going to carry on for a few moments here while the ground staff do their sweeping away at the wicket here on BBC Sussex, BBC London and BBC Surrey. In terms of the test match today, Australia putting England into bat, England making 251, and in reply England are 30 for 1. Sorry, Australia are 30 for 1 in reply. We're going to hear from Rory Burns in a few moments' time. But there is a game down at Hove tonight with the Southern Vipers in action. Bruce Talbot is there for us this evening. Very good evening to you, Bruce. Tell us what's going on down at Hove. I wonder whether the weather's as nice down there as it is up in London tonight. just for the benefit of those who don't follow the women's game, just give us a flavour of that Kia Super League, how it works, how many teams are in there. Bruce, thanks very much indeed, and we'll catch up with Bruce again a little later on here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London, while the entertainment continues here during the interval. There's a lion out on the pitch, Church. Is he a lion? I mean, is he the...
That is Caesar the lion.
Caesar, right, okay.
He's the mascot,
right,
for Surrey.
I'm not quite sure what he's doing. It looks like they've got some youngsters out there catching balls.
Yes, well,
various...
they fire balls off the roof, you see.
Right.
And then if the youngsters catch it, they win a prize. But Caesar has to be alongside them.
Right. Okay.
That's the way it works in the T20. You can't do anything without the mascot.
Oh, great fun. Let's catch up on what happened in the Test match today. I was saying that England making 251 all out. Rory Burns making 53, a century as well for Johnny Bairstow. Australia in reply are 30 for 1, a wicket there for Stuart Broad. But as I was saying, another half century for Rory Burns, who's having a good Ashes series so far. And after close of play today, he spoke to Eleanor Oldroyd. Talk. Okay, I'll introduce. How long is Alex Stewart's thoughts on the day?
Stewie, that is Alex Stewart asking Rory Burns the questions.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'd have thought it's...
Well, this is Eleanor Oldroyd. Yeah. So is it to? So it was Alex Stewart and Eleanor Oldroyd asking questions. Wow. So there we are, that's Rory Burns. Mark Church with us here on BBC Surrey, BBC London and BBC Sussex. You would know Rory Burns very well. He made a good 100 at Edgbaston in the first Test match. Runs again today. He looks to be the sort of batsman who's got the temperament for Test cricket.
Well, it's no great surprise, I don't think, to anybody who knows Rory Burns, in that is the way he goes about his business. And I did have to wonder when people were writing him off, after the Ireland test. I think people go a bit early on stuff like that. Yeah, he was out of nick, fine, but he's a very, very strong character. Rory Burns had a couple of sessions with Neil Stewart, Alex Stewart's brother, put everything right, weren't too many things wrong. I think because Rory Burns has so many moving parts, it's quite obvious to spot what was going wrong. They tinkered with something with his hands, got his hands closer to his body, but the thing is with Rory Burns, mentally he's just very tough. And I think as well the way he played today, I saw a little bit of it. It's exactly what England are looking for. See, my only problem I still have is the fact that Jason Roy is opening for England. Now, Jason Roy is not going to turn down the chance to open for England, but Jason Roy should be batting at 4. And if Joe Denley's going to play, Joe Denley has to open. And I'm getting slightly confused with the fact that Joe Denley went out there after Jason Roy was out and batted like an opener because he had to go out there early anyway. So I think they've got to look at that. They've got to look at who is opening with Rory Burns. I would play Jason Roy, but I would have Jason Roy batting at 4. And if you're not going to play Joe Denley as an opener, then you have to go down the lines of Dom Sibley.
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk around, and as you say, Jason Roy doesn't open for Surrey, does he? He very rarely plays Championship cricket.
And look, at the end of the day, Jason Roy's got a good enough temperament that if you keep going with him, he's going to frustrate you, but he will make runs at the top of the order. All I'm saying is, if you've got Joe Denley there, who's opened in first-class cricket and has opened in Test match cricket, why on earth is Joe Denley batting at number 4? If Joe Denley plays, he has to open. And if he's not going to open, then he doesn't play and Dom Sibley comes in or somebody else who can open. Because I think the problem is for Jason Wright at the moment, he's learning on the hoof. Yeah. And he's learning in the middle of an Ashes series. At least at 4, he might have to go out there early, but if not, he can go out there when Rory Burns has done what Rory Burns does and somebody else at the top of the order does, and then he can go in and play his normal game, which he'll get away with. But, that ball he got today, because he doesn't open usually in first-class Test match cricket, he's fiddling at it outside his off stump. That's not Jason Roy's fault. That's the fact that if Joe Denley's playing in this Test 11, Joe Denley should be opening and Jason Roy should be batting at 4.
You're listening to live cricket on the BBC from BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Mark Church. Surrey have made 163 for 8 here in their 20 overs. The Sussex Sharks will start their reply in a few moments' time. And in fact, as we speak, the Surrey players are making their way out onto the field, led by their skipper, Jade Dernbach, and we'll await the arrival of the Sussex openers who'll be coming down the pavilion steps in a couple of moments' time. That's Luke Wright and Phil Salt. Just a reminder that Sussex are unbeaten in this competition so far this season, the only unbeaten side in the T20 competition across the country. And if they can get to 164, they're going to keep that unbeaten record going. We should say the last game between these two sides down at Hove 3 or 4 weeks ago was a magnificent game of cricket which ended in a tie. So don't rule a tie out here tonight as the Sussex players make their way out to the middle. Phil Salt and Luke Wright in their royal blue shirts, Surrey in their duck egg blue shirts. A full house, the floodlights are on, lots of blue sky above the oval. The sunshine has pretty much disappeared from here inside the ground, but plenty of spectators have made their way out to get some refreshments during the interval. They're making their way back in now and filling up the seats, and this is interesting because Surrey are going to open with a bit of spin bowling.
Yeah, I'm not surprised actually after what we saw. Tahir's opened already in the competition for Surrey. Just to say, that game at Hove was 144 for 8, played 144 for 8, so a lower scoring game than this one. But, you never know. That time, though, Surrey, of course, were chasing, and this man, Mr. Imran Tahir, thought Surrey had won, as we were saying earlier. Yes, he hit Wiese for that massive 6, didn't he, in the last over, and then they scrambled 2 off the last ball, but I think he thought it was fewer wickets lost. That was the problem.
Yes, well, there are so many different rules around cricket. I think he's to be excused. Well, he's going to open the bowling now from the Vauxhall end. He comes running in over the wicket and bowls to Phil short, and Phil Salt plays that one away off the back foot into the offside, and there is no run.
The only thing to say, Mr. Arms, though, was if he thought it was fewer wickets lost, he'd have had a shot, because they both lost 8.
Oh dear. I'm trying to defend him, Church. In comes Tahir and bowls, and Phil Salt plays that one quietly onto the leg side to mid-wicket, and he picks up a single fielded up there by Ollie Pope. So Sussex are on their way. Phil Salt with a single in the first over being bowled here by the leg spin of Imran Tahir. 5 men saving 1 on the offside, 2 on the leg. The fielder's out on the boundary. It's a long on and a deepish mid-wicket as well, as Luke Wright surveys that field and waits as Tahir comes running in over the wicket and bowls, and Wright hits this one firmly through the offside, and that's 4 runs. Over pitch from Imran Tahir, and a lovely shot by Luke Wright. That was all about the placement between extra cover and mid-off, and the ball sped away for a boundary to the highest scorer in T20 cricket, and he's on his way with a boundary. That was a good shot.
Well, it's a wonderful shot, and it's a shot of a man in form. It really is. Tossed up by Tahir, and I think Rashid stood there and smashed it through the covers for 4. Super shot.
Tahir in again, over the wicket bowls, and that's slightly shorter, and Luke Wright plays into the offside. They think about a single. Phil Salt was halfway down the wicket and needed to put the brakes on, but it was a good call from Luke Wright. There was never a single there. And it's a dot ball, 5 without loss. Tahir comes in again short, and Luke Wright just plays that one without timing into the leg side. He picks up a single as Jordan Clarke comes rushing in from deep mid-wicket to field. 1 more to Wright. He goes to 5, and the Sharks to 6 without loss in this opening over of the Sussex reply, needing 164 to win. Imran Tahir, who runs in at sort of a 45-degree angle, 7 or 8 paces and bowls, and Phil Salt plays that one to extra cover, fielded there by, who's that down there? Will Jacks. And it's a single to Phil Salt. He will pitch the strike. End of the first over of the Sussex Sharks reply, needing 164 to win. They are 7 without loss. Wright on 5, Salt on 2. And if you're joining us expecting your normal Thursday night listening, you're listening to live cricket here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Live from the Oval. Floodlights are on. A huge crowd in here, and this could be an entertaining evening. Self Adrian Harms alongside Mark Church.
Yeah, Phil Salt made 27 in rapid time against Surrey at Hove.
It was off about 10 balls from memory.
Out in the 3rd over, 27 out of 33. And that's the way he goes about his business.
He does.
So it'll be Sam Curran to get us started from the pavilion end. 2nd over, that target for you, 164. As Sam Curran comes in over the wicket to the right-handed Salt, and Salt waits for this, tucks it into the leg side. He'll want to. That's good batting. That's using all that expansive space on that leg side. It's what we talked about. We're using the whole ground, basically. So I'm sure Sussex talked about this at half-time. You don't have to try and smash every ball on here. If you hit the gap and get it into the wide expanse, you're going to get 2 or 3. You can run yourself to victory here almost. 9 without loss. As Sam Curran is in to Phil Salt, who's gone down the ground. It's a good shot from Phil Salt, toe end of the bat, but away for 4 because mid-off is up. So he's targeted that long off boundary. Knows as long as he gets enough bat on it, he's going to pick up a boundary. And Phil Salt moves on to 8. And Sussex 13 without loss in this 2nd over.
I think we've seen a slightly different Phil Salt this T20 campaign. Against Surrey, he made that very rapid 27 and rather got himself out. But since then, he's played some very good innings where he's got himself in and then gone on to make a score. So we'll see what happens tonight.
What interests me with that average is 51, 350s, and his strike rate 164. So he hasn't hung around as he's driving here for 4 more. It's uppish, but Phil Salt just thrown his hands through it. It's away past the diving Stoneman and away for 4. So once he does get his eye in, he's absolutely flying, Phil Salt, because if your strike rate is 164 and you're averaging 51, doing something right. 17 without loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly if the ball's there to be hit, he will hit it. But I just feel this year that he's not tried to hit every ball. He'll probably get out now, having said that. But
17 without loss. As round the wicket now goes Sam Curran to Phil Salt. He almost does with a swing and a miss. Down towards long on. He's rehearsing going over extra cover. That one, though, he was looking to go over long on. And Luke Wright's down the pitch to have a quiet word, just saying that one's bounced a bit, and just, don't go too mad early.
No, and I think that's absolutely right. Luke Wright does come and have a quick word. Just getting slightly carried away, Phil Salt there. No need to play that shot.
As Will Jacks has been moved round to his left a bit as round the wicket goes Sam Curran. Well, short ball, Salt's through that a bit early. It hits the toe end of his bat and rolls down towards 3rd man on the edge of the circle. And they'll pick up a single. Well, not exactly where he intended, but he picks up one. Salt moves on to 13. 18 without loss. Will Jacks, quite a popular man at the moment because Rory Burns was out today to an unbelievable catch.
Yes,
short leg.
Yes.
But he apparently somewhere he said it's the second best catch I've ever seen at short leg. The one Will Jacks took last year against Lancashire was the best I've ever seen at short leg. As left arm round the wicket goes Sam Curran, and this one's punched by Luke Wright off the front foot out towards the sweeper on the cover rope. That's Jordan Clarke. It's just a single with the throw coming in over the top of the studs. And I've just found that catch, which I've tweeted. So at back and across, if you want to see the Will Jack, it was an absolute blinder from Will Jacks. But I have to say, the one today from Bancroft wasn't the worst I've ever seen. 19 without loss after 2. Sussex ticking along very nicely already in pursuit of that 164 for victory.
Yes, at the Oval in South London, which looks an absolute picture tonight. Full to capacity. And the last remnants of sunshine just shining off the old pavilion in the distance. Those on the top tier are getting a few last rays before the sun disappears. Floodlights on. Looks an absolute picture. And you have to say Surrey do market this game extremely well. They fill this ground for pretty much every T20 match that there is. And no difference tonight. 25,000 people here inside the ground. As Jade Dernbach, the Surrey skipper, comes running into bowl to the Sussex skipper, Luke Wright. 19 without loss are the Sharks, as in comes Dernbach running in right arm over the wicket. He bowls, and Luke Wright just swings this one down the ground. He's going to get a boundary. Is it going to be pulled up inside? Yes, it is. That's a very good bit of fielding, actually, just down below us. But Luke Wright's going to come back for a third run. He's going to need to scamper to get there, but he does scamper, and he gets home. And that was good running by Luke Wright, who's just having a discussion there with the fielder. Is that Aaron Finch? I'm not sure what that was about. Was he just saying?
I was just checking that it was all right.
Well, and it was okay. We had a clear view of that. And Luke Wright, who pretty quite within his rights, just said, is that all okay? And he said, puts his thumbs up, so everyone's happy. Luke Wright picks up 3 more. He goes to 9, 22 without loss are the Sharks, as in comes Dernbach running in again to bowl to the right-handed Salt short, and Salt plays that one to mid-wicket. There needs to be quick hit. The throw comes in, and that was a chancy single as far as Sussex were concerned. They've rather got away with it, but I think Luke Wright's heart would have been in his mouth there a little bit, because that wasn't far away.
Yeah, the thing that saved Luke Wright there was he responded straight away. There was absolutely little hesitation.
Yeah, straight to Sam Curran, and I tell you, they didn't miss by that much.
No, I didn't think he hesitated, but he did actually sing it again there on the live stream.
2 men outside the circle are a deep square leg and a long on, as in comes Dernbach, number 16 on the back of his duck-egg blue shirt. Bowl to Luke Wright, who drills that down the ground, but only as far as Finch, who fields down below us and gets in the throw. 1 more to Luke Wright. He goes into double figures. He's on 10, and the Sharks to 24 without loss here, needing 164 to win after Surrey made 163 for 8. Ollie Popetop scoring with 48, Sam Curran making 47. Dernbach turns down in front of us. The floodlights really starting to take effect now. You can see the shadows of the players on the lush green outfield. There's Dernbach with his straight approach to the wicket, runs in and bowls to Phil Salt right up in the block hole, and Salt plays that one down the ground and picks up another single, as again it's Finch who comes running in here from down below us at long on and fields, and it's 1 more to Salt.
Yeah, and well bowled by Jade Dernbach, got it right up there in the block hole to Phil Salt. And even if you're in the greatest form, it's very difficult to do anything with deliveries like that. But I think the crowd are trying to start a Mexican wave.
Yes.
It's normally about this time of the day.
Dernbach runs in again, over the wicket bowl, short, pumped away by Luke Wright. That's a lovely shot. 4 runs, bit too much width there from Jade Dernbach. And Luke Wright is always severe on anything through that offside, and he absolutely hammered the ball through the covers for 4 runs. Lovely shot by the Sussex skipper. He goes to 14, and the Sharks to 29 without loss.
He's played this really well, actually, Luke Wright. He just stood still and then clubbed it. He had everybody on the edge of the circle there, did Jade Dernbach. So that was just all about placement, really, from Luke Wright. Knew as long as he hit the gap, he'd pick up a boundary.
Dernbach again, turns and runs away from us, and this the Vauxhall end. He's in and bowls to Luke Wright, and Wright works that one away down to short third man. Good running again between these two. As soon as he played that, Phil Salt gave him the call. Yep, that's a single, and through they went. So the end of the third over, and Sussex going along nicely there, 30 without loss. Salt and Wright both on 15 apiece. You're listening to live cricket here on BBC Sussex, BBC London, and and BBC Surrey, myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Mark
that's
Church.
lovely. Someone there doing some knitting, which is excellent.
Are they really?
Yes, I think they were. I saw that, because I can knit. Well, I used to knit.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I used to, Granny taught me. Granny taught me to knit, and I haven't done it for a few years, but I found it very therapeutic, Mr. Harms. And when we were down at Bristol on Tuesday, during the Kia Super League game, there was a lady there who virtually knitted an entire jumper during one game of Kia Super League.
I wouldn't have the patience, Churchy.
Oh, it's very therapeutic. Once you get into the rhythm of it,
right.
It's very, and it's. I just was quite intrigued to see what I'd end up with. Tom Curran from the pavilion end, the fourth over, coming into Luke Wright. He's down the leg side. Wide will be the signal.
Could you?
And one more to the total.
Could you knit yourself a cricket jumper?
I was never that good. I could do a scarf.
Right, okay.
Because basically you just keep knitting and then you just give it to someone and say it's a scarf. But my granny was amazing. Used to knit a lot of my clothes, which is why I was not a very popular kid at school. And it took me 40 years to get a girlfriend and a wife. As in, over the wicket once more comes Tom Curran. Forward goes the right-handed Luke Wright, pushes this one out into the offside. The worst one she ever knitted me was of an all-in-one jumpsuit.
Right.
Yes.
Do you remember it?
I do very well. Yeah,
right,
I was 24 at the time. 31 without loss.
Yeah.
And without doing anything spectacular.
Oh, bless your gran.
Just ticking along at the moment at 10s, the Sussex. As in over the wicket once more comes Tom Curran, and down the leg side again. Will this be signalled wide? It will. Tom Curran thinks that Luke Wright's jumped outside his off stump, looking to scoop, and Tom Curran's indicating that maybe wasn't a wide, but it's been given now, so that's one more to the total. 32 without loss. As Tom Curran just waits for the ball to come back to him. Our umpires tonight, Rob Bailey and Ian Blackwell. Rob Bailey, one of the most experienced umpires. As over the wicket comes Tom Curran to Luke Wright, slower ball. Wright forcing off the back foot out towards the sweeper on the cover rope. And that's Will Jacks out there who does the fielding as the throw comes in. One bounce over the top of the stumps. One more to the total. And that'll bring Phil Salt on to strike on 15. 33 without loss. Surrey have Sussex at the moment, but as I say, Sussex haven't done anything spectacular yet, and they're going at 10s. Now they want to bring the sweeper up. They've got too many outside the circle at the moment. Imran Tahir wants to go back to third man, but they've already got the long on and the deep backward square, so they've got their two outside the fielding circle. Surrey is Tom Curran is Salt looking for the big pull shot. Top edges. Ben Foakes with the gloves takes a good catch. Really good catch from Ben Foakes, because Gareth Batty was back-pedalling to get out the way from short fly leg. But Phil Salt goes for 15. Tom Curran with the breakthrough. Great catch from Ben Foakes, really. I know he's got the gloves, but that was up there a long time, and he had to just keep an eye on Gareth Batty, who was back-pedalling. 33 for one, and Phil Salt goes for 15.
Yeah, he's cross with himself, Phil Salt. He was kicking the turf as he made his way off the ground. But you're quite right about Ben Foakes. He took responsibility for the catch, and there was no one else was going to get that. He gave the call early, and he chased the ball back. When he took that, Churchy, he was pretty much on the 30-yard circle, which gives some indication of how far back he'd run to take the catch. And he was at an angle of about 45 degrees, and he had to dive to take it. But I think that's good responsibility. You know, you've got the gloves, much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Keepers should always go for those because they've got the gloves. But we've said at half-time, Surrey have got to be outstanding in the field to win this game, and they've got to take every chance that comes their way, and that was a very good catch. I wasn't quite sure where Gareth Batty was off to, but I think he was just staying close in case it ricocheted out the gloves. Tom Curran, they crossed, is into Luke Wright. Laurie Evans up at the non-strikers then. Luke Wright cuts straight into the turf and up again. Ollie Pope does the fielding. But I think what Gareth Batty was thinking quite rightly was, I've got to stick as close as I can here without putting him off, just in case it does bounce out the gloves and go up again. Just having a little look at where Tom Curran is following through here is Rob Bailey. I'm not sure that was an official warning.
Yes,
but just having a quiet word with Tom Curran.
Yes, he did. He had a good long look, didn't he?
Not to run straight down the middle of the pitch. Even in 2020, you can't run straight down the middle of the pitch. As Tom Curran goes in over the wicket to Luke Wright. Luke Wright cuts again, straight down to Ollie Pope. apart from the two wides, this is an outstanding over. Oop, and umpire Bailey's looking again here.
Yes, he is.
This could be the first warning for Tom Curran. He's just checking again. He's saying, get out the way, Tom Curran. Don't run down into the danger zone. We've had a few batsmen being told off for that this season, which seems absolutely ridiculous. That they're standing outside of their crease, and I suppose it's the same difference, but it seems a bit strange to be telling batsmen off, as they're going to bring the sweeper up from cover and stick an extra man back on the mid-wicket rope as driving is Luke Wright. What a lovely shot that is. Off the last ball of the over. Proper cricket shot from Luke Wright. Just a punch on the up through the covers and away for 4, but still a very good over that from Tom Curran, but a very good shot from Luke Wright to finish it off. 4 overs gone. That target is 164 here on BBC Surrey, BBC Sussex and BBC London, and Sussex in pursuit 37 for 1.
Yeah, now the next over, it looks like Sam Curran is coming back into the attack. He bowled his opening over from the Pavilion end, but he's going to bowl this next over from the Vauxhall end. Released by England, he was with the 12 over at Lord's this morning and just made the short journey across. A journey you know very well, Church, of course, from your wonderful run last year from Lord's to the Oval. I doubt if Sam Curran ran it, though. I'd imagine he probably got a lift. I wouldn't have thought
Sam was away at the time on tour, so I don't...
In comes Sam Curran, comes in and bowls to Laurie Evans, who plays a model 4 defensive shot into the covers. Good save by... Is that Jordan?
Mark Stoneman in there.
Very good stop, a short extra cover.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Harms, because you were there at the beginning and the end.
I think it was the last time I was in this commentary box, actually, when you set off on your way.
Indeed.
It was a great effort. Curran is back to his mark. 4 men saving 1 on the offside, 3 on the leg, and a sweeper on the cover boundary and the mid-wicket boundary as Curran is in again and bowls, and Laurie Evans dabs that one to short third man. That was good running because Luke Wright was very quickly through for the single, and Laurie Evans acknowledges that and gives a round of applause to his skipper. Evans on his way, 38 for 1.
I have to say, that was a magnificent bit of work from Ollie Pope there to Ben Foakes. I don't think people will have noticed that, obviously, but if you see it again on the old live stream, Ollie Pope sprinted up and flicked it out the back of his hand, straight over his head. Ben Foakes didn't have to move, it just went straight into his gloves, over the top of the stumps. Magical bit of fun, that from Ollie Pope.
Curran around the wicket to the right-handed Luke Wright. He's in and bowls, and Wright hammers this one away. Doesn't quite go where he wanted it to, but he's getting a single nonetheless to the sweeper on the cover boundary. 1 more to the total, 39 for 1. Wright on 21, Evans on 1. Doesn't it look magnificent here, Church? I know you're used to this ground, but we've got the floodlights on. There's just a glimmer of red sky around where the sun is setting. The sun is reflecting off the windows of the flats in the distance as well. It just looks magnificent, the Oval. As in comes Curran again, round the wicket, bowls and drilled away by Laurie. That's a wonderful stop at backward point. Is that Pope again?
Yep.
That was Laurie Evans. It was cut away firmly, but Pope dived to his right-hand side and prevented a certain boundary because there's no third man. And it's a dot ball, 39 for 1.
And that's the sort of thing that Surrey need here. Brilliant bit of work from Ollie Pope. Evans would have thought that was 4. Ollie Pope just flung himself to his left to do the fielding.
Curran turns again, runs away from us, bowls, and Evans again just helps this one. And got a good bit of fielding by Pope, who gets in the throw, and Luke Wright quite rightly said there wasn't a single there. But it's another dot ball, and this is a good over from Curran. His opening over was expensive, went for 12.
Adams deep in conversation at the back of the box, but if you could find, I think it was the first ball, second ball of the over. I wonder if we'll be able to see that bit of work from Ollie Pope again, where he just looped the ball backhanded over his own head straight into the gloves of Ben Foakes.
In comes Curran, bowls, and Laurie Evans is back and cuts this one away firmly through the covers. He picks up a single. It's the end of the over. 40 for 1 are the Sussex Sharks. Laurie Evans on 2. Luke Wright is on 21. I say the Oval looks a picture. There's the sky is getting redder by the minute as the sun sets here in South London. An aeroplane makes its way across the ground. The floodlights are shining brightly. Sussex needing 124 to win from 90 balls here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. It's live cricket from the Oval. Myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Mark Church.
Better from Surrey because they were 30 without loss after 3, 40 for 1 after 5. So Surrey have just penned this back a touch. 124 required off 90 deliveries. It's going to be Jade Dernbach to bowl the final over of the power play from the pavilion end. And Laurie Evans is just waiting for a few people to settle down in the pavilion. If I can say that word, in the pavilion. It's been a long day.
Yeah, there's a gentleman on the steps. You can just see him there. He's probably uncertain whether to go back to his seat or not.
Running up the steps. So, Jade Dernbach, start of the 6th, comes in over the wicket to Laurie Evans, and Laurie Evans, is he going to... I thought he pulled that straight to mid-on, and then Aaron Finch with a throw to the stumps. Luke Wright could have been run out.
Luke Wright would have been out by a country mile if that had hit the stumps, and I think he's a bit annoyed, Luke Wright, that he thinks Laurie Evans should have set off for the single.
Yeah, it's a good slower ball.
Yeah, and Luke Wright was totally committed, and that would have been a disaster for Sussex because Finch can't believe he didn't hit the stumps, actually. But Luke Wright would have been run out by a country mile.
Jade Dernbach turns there at the pavilion end of the ground and then comes in over the wicket to the right-handed Laurie Evans, and Evans picks him up, whips him leg side. Nice wristy shot that from Laurie Evans. This will run away for 4. It's nicely played by Laurie Evans. Nothing more than a little whip, roll of the wrists, and away with fine leg on the edge of the circle. For 4, Will Jacks was trying to get around to that, but was never getting to it. It's over the rope and away for 4. Nicely played.
Joe, it's a hive of activity here, Church. I'm just watching people making their way down the aisles. There's a lady down there with a couple of bottles of water, a couple of cups of coffee, someone else wandering down with a couple of beers in their hand. There's people going in and out the ground the whole time. There's always something going on here at the Oval.
Yes, indeed. As in over the wicket once again comes Jade Dernbach. This is whipped again by Laurie Evans, and another shy at the stumps from Aaron Finch. And this time, again, if it had hit, Luke Wright would have been in trouble, but he's missed again as Aaron Finch.
I don't think he's too impressed with Laurie Evans' calling here. It was play to Aaron Finch, but Luke Wright was convinced there was a single, and had he hit, he would have been out.
The reason he's convinced is Laurie Evans has set off again.
Yeah.
Laurie Evans has taken 2 steps forward and then stopped.
Yeah.
So he's almost stuffed his captain outside twice now.
Yeah, I don't think Luke Wright's too impressed at the moment.
But Aaron Finch misses twice with throws from mid-on. And now they're going to pop Aaron Finch down to long on. As over the wicket comes Jade Dernbach. And Laurie Evans looking to work around that front pad. And now Jade Dernbach with the right foot onto the stumps. And a shout for the run out, but I think Luke Wright's safe.
Yeah, I think he is. The reaction of Luke Wright, I mean, often batsmen know, don't they? But it was a nifty bit of footwork by Jade Dernbach.
Well, I tell you what, Luke Wright there, whether Laurie Evans was running or not, has just got his head down and gone.
Yes.
Whether Laurie Evans was running or not, Luke Wright's decided he's taking over.
Yeah.
And he was head down and off. 45 for 1. Wright back onto strike on 21. It's a good bit of footwork that from Jade Dernbach. Hit the middle stump, I think, with his right foot. So 118 more required. Apologies, 119 more required by Sussex. He missed the 6th over, final one of the power play as Dernbach goes wider of the crease to Luke Wright, slower ball, and Luke Wright tucks it out towards deep backward square, and up comes Will Jacks with the throw, which goes straight over the top of Ben Foakes, and is backed up by Ollie Pope. 1 more to Luke Wright, he moves on to 22. 46 for 1 now. Sussex here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London in pursuit of their victory target, which is 164. Lovely hubbub around the place now as Dernbach with the pavilion behind him comes over the wicket to Laurie Evans, who's dancing all over the crease and then just smears this one into the leg side as Laurie Evans doesn't time that at all but gets a single. That's the end of the power play. 6 overs gone then. 47 for 1 are the Sussex Sharks. Surrey after 6 overs was 61 for 2. So Surrey ahead in terms of runs.
Yes, Sussex will be pleased to have got through the power play just losing the 1 wicket. Laurie Evans just struggling at the minute to time the ball. 117 needed off of 15 overs. I think we're in for another cliffhanger, Churchy. Imran Tahir is back into the attack for Surrey. I can't tell you, I'm probably sounding a bit like a broken record here, but the view we have from the commentary box here is absolutely magnificent. The floodlights are shining brightly. That sky is getting pinker and pinker in the distance as in comes Tahir over the wicket bowls, and Laurie Evans works this one into the offside. It wasn't a confident shot at all from Laurie Evans, but he picks up a single. And importantly, he's given the strike back to Luke Wright. He goes to 9, and the Sharks to 48 for 1.
I'm feeling a bit more optimistic about the weather tomorrow now, because it's a red sky at night.
Yes, Shepherd's Delight.
Yes.
Yes.
It's red sky in the morning.
Shepherd's Warning.
Yes.
As an aeroplane makes its way across the oval, and Tahir is in and bowls, and Luke Wright to a short delivery, plays that one onto the onside to deepish mid-wicket, picks up a single, fielded there by Jordan Clarke, who throws in on the bounce to Ben Foakes. One more to the total. We haven't seen Gareth Batty yet, but I can see he's warming up down there at short fine leg. Tahir in again, bowls to Evans, and Evans drives too long off, picks up the 3rd single of the overs as Laurie Evans moves him into double figures. He goes to 10, and it's the 50 up for the Sussex Sharks. 50 for 1 in this, the 7th over.
Does Sussex have a game tomorrow?
Yes, at Canterbury.
Yeah, because Surrey are off to the Aegeus Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, the forecast isn't great, but in comes Tahir again and bowls, and Luke Wright is forward. He just plays that down the onside of the pitch and picks up a comfortable single as Tahir fields off his own bowling. Yeah, I think if we're going to get cricket anywhere tomorrow, looking at the weather forecast, I think the further east you go, the more chance there is. But I think it might be one of those that we get started and maybe don't finish. We shall see. Tahir again. Over the wicket bowls and swept away by Laurie Evans, and he's going to get 4 runs, and that's the best shot that Laurie Evans has played. Just erring slightly down the leg side there, Imran Tahir, and a good shot by Laurie Evans, sweeping that one away through square leg. He picks up a boundary. He goes to 14, and the Sharks to 55 for 1.
Yeah, lovely shot from Laurie Evans. Fully in control of that Laurie Evans. Wasn't trying to hit it too hard. Just an orthodox sweep shot for 4.
Tahir in again and bowls, and Evans is forward, just runs that one down to short third. He's looking for a single, it was never there. Fielded at backward point, and there is no run. End of the 7th over of the Sussex Sharks innings here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Luke Wright on 24, Laurie Evans on 14. Phil Salt is the man out. Sussex needing 109 to win in 14 overs. Evans on 14. Wright on 24. I'm Adrian Harms, and describe the next over. He's Mark Church, and I'm sorry, 13 overs to go. I do apologise.
Gareth Batty into the attack. 10 wickets in the competition this season for Gareth Batty. Best of 3 for 7 in that game against Glamorgan. Surrey bowled Glamorgan out for 44. Now, Luke Wright's the man on strike. 8th over, Gareth Batty from the pavilion end, about to come in over the wicket to Luke Wright, but he's not happy at the moment with his field. As down the ground goes Luke Wright to long off, and they'll pick up a single as the throw comes in. 1 bounce over the top of the stumps, and 1 more to the total, 1 more to Luke Wright. He moves on to 25, 56 for 1, and Laurie Evans comes on to strike to Gareth Batty on 14. Batty's got long off, long on, 2 men back on the leg side rope and a sweeper, and Batty halfway through his delivery stride just says to Luke Wright, just be careful where you're following up. As over the wicket goes Batty to Evans, who's forward and pushes out towards a wideish mid-off, and there's no run.
I'm sure your statistics will tell us, Churchy, because they are immaculate. Gareth Batty bowled very well down at Hove.
Yes, he did. Hang on, just a sec. As in over the wicket once more comes Gareth Batty. Sweeping is Laurie Evans down towards deep backward square, and they will pick up the 2 runs as Sam Curran goes running back to do the retrieval work. Give me 2 seconds and I will get to my little chart that I've constructed for this season, Mr. Harms.
Well, I'm very sorry.
No, not at all. So yes, Gareth Batty at Hove, 3 for 20 off 4. As driving is Laurie Evans. That rolls out towards extra cover and there's no run.
Yeah.
So 3 for 20 it was at Hove for Gareth Batty. 3 for 7 against Glamorgan here. As over the wicket he comes once more, and Laurie Evans punches off the back foot down the ground towards long on, and they will pick up a single as the throw comes in. 1 bounce over the top of the stumps. 1 more to Laurie Evans. He moves on to 17. 59 for 1. Another 105 required by Sussex. We're in the 8th of their 20 overs. As over the wicket once again goes Batty, that's quicker, and it's on to Luke Wright as he looks to pull, and it hits him amidships and rolls one. Another 105 required by Sussex. We're in the 8th of their 20 overs. As over the wicket once again goes Batty, that's quicker, and it's on to Luke Wright as he looks to pull, and it hits him amidships and rolls down in front of him. Pretty tidy first over that from Gareth Batty, just the 4 runs off it. 8 gone, 59 for 1 the Sussex Sharks as the kids start dancing. The lights shine brightly, the sky is red, and all bubbling up very nicely here.
It is, and as we were saying a little earlier on, these two sides tied down at Hove 3 or 4 weeks ago in the reverse fixture, 144 to each side. It was a wonderful game of cricket, and you just get the feeling that this could be going down to the wire as well. Sussex will feel they've got wickets in the bank, which is always important in T20 cricket, but Luke Wright will be well aware with the amount of T20 cricket he's played around the world that he won't want Sussex to get too far behind the rate here. They need 105 off of 12. So at the minute it's all under control for Sussex in that, what's that, 12 now, we're trying to work out what they need an over, Churchy, about 8 and over, isn't it, something like that. In comes Jordan Clarke over the wicket, bowls to Laurie Evans, gone right through Laurie Evans and taken by Ben Foakes, who was looking to pull that one away onto the leg side. Well, it just went straight through him.
Jordan Clarke's only got the 3 wickets. I say only, he's bowled 15 overs, 3 wickets, but he had 3 catches dropped off him at Sophia Gardens on Sunday, poor fella. And he's bowled very nicely in the comp so far in those 15 overs that he's bowled.
My maths teacher wouldn't have been too proud. 12 nines are 108, so it's 9 and over roughly Sussex need. As in comes Jordan Clarke, running away from us, comes in and bowl to Laurie Evans, down to third man. He picks up a single. And Evans goes to 18, 60 for 1. Yes, our producer just reminding us with my rather poor maths that it's A-level results day today, so I hope everyone's done okay and got what they wanted. Certainly I wouldn't have got A-level maths, Churchy, with that rather poor calculation.
And if you haven't, don't worry, it'll all turn out all right.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
I'm just looking at Jordan Clarke. So 1 over against Middlesex went for 4, 1 over against Glamorgan went for 12, then 1 for 22 against Sussex at Hove off 2 overs. Bit of tap against Somerset, but everybody got tap against Somerset. 1 over for 10 against Middlesex at Lords.
He comes again, right arm over the wicket. He's in and bowls to Luke Wright, who, well, I'm not too sure what Luke Wright was looking to do there. He's making a signal as if to say that kept a little low. But I'm not too sure if he was going to punch that one through the offside. He seemed to change his shot halfway through. Either way, it's a dot ball. And Luke Wright just looked a little frustrated at the far end, Churchy.
It's a good bit of bowling that again from Jordan Clarke. And then he took 1 for 15 here against Gloucestershire, and then 1 for 25 against Glamorgan, but could have easily had 4.
Comes running into bowl to the Sussex skipper. He's in and bowls. Luke Wright pulls that one away, looks frustrated, and he's going to be caught and bowled. Here is Luke Wright, and he's caught and bowled. Well, I thought Luke Wright looked a little bit twitchy at the far end, and so it proved. He came down the wicket. There go the flamethrowers, taking more and more effect as the gloom descends on the oval. And the Sussex skipper is on his way, and it's always a big wicket in T20 cricket when Luke Wright is out. He goes for 26, and Sussex are 60 for 2, and Luke Wright makes his way back to the pavilion for 25.
Yeah, a good bit of bowling again from Jordan Clarke was giving Luke Wright no room whatsoever. Luke Wright did look a bit twitchy there. I think it was as much the running between the wickets with Laurie Evans. I think that, you know, they've had a couple of moments, those two together, which would have just got Luke Wright's beams going. You know, that you get 2 run-outs like that chances, and your partner's not really responding, and he always stuffs you a couple of times. It really does just sort of get you, as I say, get the juices going, really. And yeah, it did look a bit frustrated.
Strains of Sussex by the sea as in comes Jordan Clarke running over the wicket, comes in and bowls to Laurie Evans, who just fiddles a little single there to backward point because the batsman had crossed when Luke Wright was out, and the total goes to 61 for 2. Evans to 19, and that brings in the new batsman, who is Alex Carey, who's a very fine left-handed batsman. A lot of people felt he was a little unlucky not to be included in the Australian Ashes squad. But he was left out. He batted beautifully down at Somerset a couple of weeks ago on his debut. And he's going to play in the championship match against Middlesex, which starts at Hove on Sunday. But he'll be not thinking about that at the minute, because just a little bend of the knees as he looks around the field and surveys. He'll see there are 3 men saving one on the offside and 2 on the leg as Dernbach goes slightly on the attack as Clarke is in and bowls, and right up in the block hole. Good delivery by Jordan Clarke, and a very fine over by Jordan Clarke. That's a dot ball, and the Sussex Sharks are 61 for 2. Laurie Evans on 18, Alex Carey yet to score a very fine over. Just the 2 runs coming off that over, and Sussex needing 103 to win in 11 overs, and that run rate is sort of sneaking up to near about 10 and over.
Yeah, it's very good stuff from Jordan Clarke, and as I say, everybody took a bit of tap at Taunton, but other than that, he's been right on the money. Jordan Clarke, of course, Rikki Clarke not getting a game at the moment. And Jordan Clarke, 61 for 2 then. 10th over. I've been looking forward to watching Mr. Carey live. As over the wicket then, Gareth Batty with the 10th over to Laurie Evans, and Evans drives down the ground towards long off, and they'll pick up a single. He'll remember Jofra, won't he? He's probably got a scar there forever now.
The first time I interviewed him was down at the Aegeus Bowl when he wasn't playing, but Jason Gillespie said, he's going to be at the ground, and he came along and had a couple of those butterfly clips on his chin. And I said, you've been Joffred. And he said, yeah.
He looked magnificent, though. He looked like, do you remember Terry Butcher in that World Cup qualifier?
Yes.
Looked the same as that, didn't it? 62 for 2. As round the wicket comes Batty to Carey, and Carey sweeps in front of square all along the carpet out towards deep mid-wicket. Jordan Clarke with a racer-like throw, and it's backed up very well. Nothing wrong with the throw because he got it away quickly and backed up very well by Mark Stoneman.
Just made me think, Churchy, when he was left out and having seen him bat suddenly down at Somerset, that the Aussies must have some good batsmen to leave him out.
Yeah, as in over the wicket once again comes Gareth Batty, and Laurie Evans goes inside out over extra cover. 1 bounce, 2 bounces for 4. Lovely shot.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot.
Laurie Evans going inside out over the top of the covers and away for 4. He's on to 24, 67 for 2.
Bit scratchy early on Laurie Evans, but he's just getting his timing right now. That sweep shot and then that shot through the covers.
And over the wicket once again comes Batty, and this is whipped into the leg side by Laurie Evans down towards long on. Well, as long as Australia keep winning the test matches, it'll be fine, but there was some talk that if it hadn't gone quite according to plan, that Carey could have come in for Payne, because Wade's obviously batting in the middle order anyway and scoring runs. But the way it's coming at the moment, I think Mr. Payne will be fine. Round the wicket again goes Batty, that's a quicker one, and Carey pulls down towards long on. They'll pick up another single as the throw comes in.
Well, the other Australian who's, we saw Marnus Labuschagne playing for Glamorgan against Sussex early on. He's a fine player as well, so they've got some very fine batsmen, Australia.
69 for 2. As in over the wicket once more comes Gareth Batty. This is tucked away into the leg side by Laurie Evans. He'll pick up a single. That'll be 1 more to the total. Well, apparently, I think Mr. Agnew was doing some of the announcements again at St John's Wood Tube for everybody arriving at the end of that over. 70 for 2 then Sussex, 94 needed off the last 10. But apparently as well, one of the announcers this morning was saying if anybody knows how to get Steve Smith out, could they, on their way to their seats, pop up to the England dressing room, which I thought was rather good.
Yeah. But he's still there tonight. For those of you who haven't heard, England making 251, Australia 30 for 1 at close of play. Now, Jordan Clarke's going to carry on, having bowled that very fine first over, which just went for 2 runs. He's coming into bowl to the right-handed Laurie Evans, who's there on 26. He's in and bowls, and almost a slower delivery, and that missed Laurie Evans off stump by a whisker.
This is lovely bowling from Jordan Clarke. It really is. And Laurie Evans there, trying to run it down to third man, but it was the slow one. He's almost chopped that straight back onto his stumps, but looks in a lovely rhythm here, Jordan Clarke.
9.5 and over Sussex lead. There's 70 for 2 as Clarke turns down in front of us. Floodlights on. Oval looks a picture. Clarke is in and bowls short, and that's hit the pads of Laurie Evans. Rather followed him down the leg side. And it's going to be a leg bye, I think, signalled there by umpire Blackwell. The total goes up to 71 for 2. If you're just joining us, expecting your normal Thursday night programmes here on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey, and of course BBC London. Well, it's live cricket from the Oval. Surrey against Sussex, T20 cricket. And cricket tomorrow night as well, this time from Canterbury, where Sussex make a visit down to play Kent in their next game in the competition. Sussex so far the only unbeaten side in the competition. Can they hang on to that proud record? Alex Carey taking strike. The left-handed Australian wicket-keeper batsman. He faces Jordan Clarke, who's in and bowls, and Carey hits that one away through the offside, only to the sweeper on the cover boundary. He picks up a single there, fielded by Tom Curran. One more to Carey. He goes to 3 in Sussex 72 for 2.
Very good stuff from Jordan Clarke. What Surrey are trying to do is squeeze it in the middle to give Dernbach and Tom Curran that chance at the end with the ball, the 2 death bowlers. So at the minute, they've done this first 10 pretty well, Surrey, with the ball. I think they bowled okay here.
Clarke runs away from us. Over the wicket, bowls to Laurie Evans. Evans works on to the leg side. They were looking for 2 runs here. Carey's going to come back for the second. That's very good running. Jordan Clarke chased the ball back, but Laurie Evans, as soon as he played that onto the leg side, and he applauds Alex Carey, because Carey really made that happen. He was back like a hare, making up the ground for the second run. Evans goes to 28, the total 74 for 2.
Again, something Sussex would have talked about in the interval. Those areas, those big expanses, you bump it into there and go hard on the first, you can get back for a second.
Clarke runs away from us again, comes into bowl to the right-handed Evans. That's short, it's a slower ball. Laurie Evans turns that to short fine leg. He picks up another single, but it's just a single for Laurie Evans. He goes to 29, 75 for 2. Sussex needing 89 to win. 1 ball remaining of this over, the 11th over. Being bowled by Jordan Clarke from this, the Vauxhall end of the ground. Figures of 1 for 6 so far for Jordan Clarke. And he's going to come around the wicket to the left-handed Alex Carey. 3 men saving 1 on the offside, 1 on the leg side. He runs away from us, comes into bowl to Carey, and Carey's up on his toes and plays it to backward point. Picks up another single, does Alex Carey, but it's another very good over from Jordan Clarke that gets a good round of applause from a packed house here at the Oval. The Sharks are 76 for 2. Evans is on 29. Alex Carey is on 4. Sussex needing another 88 to win in 9 overs. So that run rate required still around 10 and over.
Surrey were 93 for 3 after 11. So, yeah, interesting this. Surrey, well, we said it, they're going to have to bowl really, really well tonight. They're doing that at the moment. Oh, dance cam's on.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get kiss cam, I'll be more than happy. As round the wicket then is Gareth Batty from the pavilion end to Carey, who's sweeping all along the carpet out towards deep mid-wicket. And they'll pick up a single. 1 more to the total, 1 more to Carey.
And great to see on the camera around the ground, Church, you know, the amount of families that are here, the amount of children that are here as well. It's just, you know, that's the great benefit of playing the competition at this time of year.
77 for 2, it's the school holidays. It's not rocket science, as this one's swept by Laurie Evans. And they'll pick up 1, they'll come back for 2 as Jordan Clarke comes around to do the fielding. 2 more to the total, 79 for 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's all going to change next year, but we won't talk about that. Let's concentrate on what we've got going this year, and it's been a really good competition with some big crowds.
Evans on 31 as Batty is into him, and Laurie Evans punches down the ground after a frenetic start. He's just settled down now.
Yes,
Laurie
he has.
Evans.
Yeah.
And he'd love to make runs here. Well, he is making runs here tonight. Packed house. Back at the Kia Oval, he's on to 32, 80 for 2. Hugely talented boy, Laurie Evans. He's not a boy anymore, really, is he? And Evans 32, Carey back onto strike on 5 as Batty, that's a quicker one. Carey just opens the face, helps it down to Sam Curran, and Sam Curran whips the ball in over the top of the stumps, and then will jog out to go to deep backward square for Laurie Evans. 81 for 2. Evans 32, Carey on 6, Evans back onto strike, Batty is in and Evans sweeps, and there's Sam Curran out there at deep backward square, exactly where he should be. Bowling from Gareth Batty, defending that leg side boundary. Singles fine at the moment from a Surrey perspective, 82 for 2.
Yeah, Sussex could just do with a boundary.
They could indeed, as round the wicket comes Gareth Batty. This one's cut by Carey out towards extra cover, and the throw will come in over the top of the stump. So interesting over again, no boundaries in it. 12 gone, 83 for 2. The Sussex Sharks here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. That target is 164.
Yeah, 81 to win. off of 8. So for the first time, the run rate has just crept over 10 and over. Did I hear the strain to Sweet Caroline then?
I'm not sure. I think it'd be a bit early for that now.
Do you?
Yeah, they normally give it another couple of overs, then it's a bit of Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, it's become the song, hasn't it?
Yes, well, they love it. They love a bit of Diamond. We all love a bit of Neil Diamond.
Well, it's going to be Imran Tahir who's going to bowl the next over. Figures of 0 for 15 from his 2 overs. He's coming into the left-handed Alex Carey. 3 men saving 1 on the offside, 1 on the leg. As in comes Tahir in his duck blue shirt and bowls to Alex Carey, who plays it quietly down the onside and picks up a single. Tahir fields off his own bowling and makes it to shy at the stumps, but decided not to because there was no one backing up. And just a single to Carey. He goes to 8. Sussex to 84 for 2, needing 10 and over to win.
There's a wonderful eccentricity to Imran here, but there are times you worry about it.
In he comes and bowls wide outside the off stump, and Laurie Evans punches that, but straight to the fielder at short extra cover. He's a little annoyed with himself, Laurie Evans. Good bit of fielding there by Stoneman. Prevented a boundary. He waits again as in comes Tahir. Bowls, Evans drives down the ground. It's another single to Laurie Evans, fielded by Aaron Finch, who comes in, number 15 on his back, and throws in left arm to wicket-keeper Foakes on the bounce.
It just feels like there's a bit of pressure building here.
Yeah, I agree. Sussex need a boundary. Or a couple of boundaries. 2 off the over so far, 3 balls gone. In comes Tahir over the wicket, bowls, and Carey looking for that big shot, but he drags it back to the square. Picks up a single, does Alex Carey. Goes to 9, 86 for 2, 3 off the over so far. Sussex needing to score at 10 and over. The pressure just beginning to mount a little. Tahir coming into bowl to Laurie Evans, who's on 34. He's in and bowls, and Evans is caught behind. I think, yes, he is. And Laurie Evans is gone, and the pressure was building. Looking for a big shot down the ground, Laurie Evans, thick outside edge, taken by Foakes. And Evans is on his way for 34, and that pressure has just been building for Sussex. Good over from Tahir. Evans is on his way, and just the 3 runs off the over. And Laurie Evans makes his way off.
Well, it was coming. You knew something was going to happen. You could just feel it out there. And good catch that from Ben Foakes. Yeah, just on the rebound because he'd have lost it behind Laurie Evans there for a second because he was slog sweeping. But made sure at the second attempt. And 86 for 3. Sussex, Surrey so far have been very good in the field. And very good with the ball so far. Great discipline so far from these Surrey bowlers. And David Wiese, the man who won the game in that one-day game earlier in the season at Hove, makes his way out to the middle.
Well, he's in good form with the bat, David Wiese, this season. Hits very hard down the ground. He has a little natter away to Alex Carey. Still plenty of batting for Sussex to come. Delray, Rawlins, Rashid Khan, Chris Jordan, they can all bat. But you rather feel that one of these two, Wiese and Carey, probably need to be around for a few more overs to get Sussex over the line here. This is a good game, 86 for 3, as David Wiese faces Imran Tahir. Long on and long off, both back, as in comes Tahir and bowls, and Wiese just turns that one to short fine leg and picks up a single, does David Wiese. That's a very good over from Tahir, who gets a pat on the back to his countryman David Wiese. It's the end of the over. 87 for 3 are the Sussex Sharks, so still needing 77 to win in 7 overs. So that run rate is creeping up. It's now 11 and over.
Well, when I was doing my silly little figures yesterday, numbers...
There we go.
I can't bear it. I loathe
the crowd love it.
I loathe Kiss Cam. When I was doing my numbers yesterday, I knew that Sussex had been batting well. In fact, the Tymal Mills played 7 games in the comp, hasn't had a bat yet. So that shows you that they've been going all right. So it's going to be. I'm not talking about it. I cannot bear Kiss Cam.
Oh, well, there's another Kiss Cam.
It's always they always then go to poor people who don't know each other. In over the wicket goes. There's children in the ground. It's Gareth, Batty, and Wiese. Turns this one into the leg side. It rolls in there towards short mid wicket, and there's no run. 87 for 3. Wiese coming into this was averaging 136 runs in the comp as he turns this one out towards deep mid-wicket. They'll pick up a single. 1 more to the total. The other thing I love about David Wiese, and I don't mind saying it because I used to use them myself, is he uses a Newbury bat. And I do love a Newbury. I know they have them at Hove, but they are lovely bats. That's round the wicket once again. Then is Gareth Batty to Carey. Carey, the left-hander, well bowled Gareth Batty. That's the one that he fizzes in and it bounces. And Carey's in about 8 different minds of what to do with that. And in the end, he didn't do anything, and it just goes into the gloves of Ben Foakes. Squeezing this at the moment at Surrey. Gareth Batty chewing his gum like an outlaw. As cutting is Carey down towards long off. Will take a single, just a single.
Sussex just need a couple of big overs here. David Wiese might be the man, but immediately there's a long off and a long on. He's so strong straight down the ground, David Wiese. It's a long boundary down there as well.
89 for 3. Inside out would be an option as he's pulling down towards long on is David Wiese, and it's good work down there from Tom Curran, and they'll pick up 2. 2 more to the total, 2 more to David Wiese. He moves on to 4, 91 for 3, the Sharks. In this, the 14th of their 20 overs, their target 164. 73 more required. Wiese backs away, punches straight into short extra cover, and there is no run. End of the over, good one again from Gareth Batty. 6 left then, here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. And 91 for 3, the Sharks, 73 required off 36 deliveries.
Yeah, so it's 2 a ball, and it's just getting the 2 batsmen just having a little natter in the middle of the pitch. Gareth Batty has been bowled out, and he's bowled well, as he always seems to do in T20 cricket. So Tahir has bowled 3 overs, 1 for 19. Sam Curran's got 2 to bowl. And he's going to bowl. Is it Tom Curran who's coming on? It's Sam Curran.
No, Tom Curran it is. Tom Curran indeed.
So Sam Curran 2 overs for 15. Dernbach has bowled 2 overs for 18. Tom Curran just bowled 1 over, that went for 7. Gareth Batty has been bowled out. His 4 overs have just cost 23 runs. And Jordan Clarke 2 overs, 1 for 7. So 6 overs to go, 73 needed to win. Alex Carey waits at the far end of the ground. He's on 10. Curran is coming in from the Vauxhall end. Floodlights on. In comes Curran, running in. Right arm over the wicket. Bowls to Carey, and Carey's beaten. That was a good delivery by Tom Curran. It very nearly bowled Alex Carey, taken by Foakes, and it's a dot ball.
Lovely bit of bowling from Tom Curran.
Yeah, 4 overs for 24 for Gareth Batty. As Curran wanders back to his mark. There are 3 men saving 1 on the offside, 1 on the leg side at short fine leg. Then there's a 3rd man who's now coming up inside the circle. There's a short 3rd man, and now a long off and a long on. As Curran is back to his mark. Down in front of us, number 59 on the back of his light blue shirt, and runs away for us. Comes in and bowls to the left-handed Carey. Carey down the wicket, driving. Is he going to be caught? No, he's not. It's going to run away for 4 runs. Well, Sussex need a boundary. That's going to relieve the pressure a little. It's not at all where Alex Carey expected that to go. He was down the wicket to Curran. It was a thick outside edge, and it just flew past Gareth Batty, who I thought momentarily was going to catch that short fine leg, but he didn't, and the ball went past him, and it's gone away for a boundary. Welcome boundary for Sussex. Yeah. Carey to 14.
I think Gareth Batty, understandably in there, went to his left first up, thinking it was going to be the drive off the outside edge, and then had to come back to his right.
69 needed to win. In comes Curran over the wicket bowls, and down the leg side, Curran just taking a bit of pace off the ball, and Carey gets a leg. Well, he doesn't get any nick at all. It's a leg by, and the total goes up by 1 to 96 for 3. Carey on 14, Wiese on 4. The run rate sneaking up all the time. 68 needed to win. And just 5 overs left after this one. 3 balls of this 15th over to be bowled.
That was good bowling again from Tom Curran. Just followed Carey. Trying to make some room, Carey, to go down to 3rd man, because 3rd man's on the edge of the circle, but he followed him. He didn't lay any bat on it whatsoever.
In comes Curran again to bowl to the right-handed David Wiese. He's in and bowls, and Wiese just steers this one to backward point. Picks up another single, does David Wiese. He goes to 5. And the Sharks to 97 for 3. 2 experienced campaigners out there. They won't be panicking just yet.
Not at all. They'll have said to themselves, what do we want to leave? What do we want to leave ourselves with 3 overs to go? 40? We can get that.
But not many more than that. Alex Carey on 14. 3 men saving 1 on the offside, 1 on the leg. The other five fielders scattered around the ground as in comes Curran and bowls. That's a full toss, pulled away by Carey onto the leg side. He's getting a single. I think he's saying, was that above waist high? No, he's not. He's quite happy with that, Alex Carey. He goes to 15, 98 for 3, another single to Sussex. Curran wanders back to his mark.
We had the same with Gareth Batty with the final ball of the Surrey innings, wondering if it was above waist high, but the umpire's very consistent.
Sussex to do with a boundary off this delivery. Curran comes into bowl to the right-handed David Wiese. He's in and bowls, and Wiese steers that one to backward point. He picks up a single, does David Wiese. Sussex go to 99 for 3 at the end of that, the 15th over. Wiese on 6, Carey on 15, so Sussex needing 65 to win in 5 overs, and my rather poor maths tells me that's 13 and over.
It is.
And that's going to take some getting.
Well, it is on here because the boundaries are so big. That's the thing. They're going to need some absolutely massive hitting, because if you don't quite get hold of it, you're going to be out. You've got to absolutely nail it. Bit of Hey Jude for the crowd now, which they always enjoy that here. So it's going to be Jordan Clarke. Oh, a very good first couple of overs to Jordan Clarke. Picked up the wicket of Luke Wright, caught and bowled. He's going to bowl the 16th over. Down there from the pavilion end, 1 for 7 so far for Jordan Clarke.
It's a big ask for any new batsman coming in, Churchy, which is why I say I think one of these two has got to play a major innings now for Sussex.
Jordan Clarke is in, over the wicket to Wiese, swinging inside edge onto his front pad, and will just get a single, but again he's right up in the block hole there. Jordan Clarke, he's certainly hitting his target tonight. See 2 aeroplanes up there in the night sky in the distance, over the top of the pavilion. Flags perfectly still.
What a sight, Churchy.
Oh, it is. It's magnificent. I always think at this time of night, it almost looks like the pavilion's 3-dimensional. Looks like it's coming out towards you a bit. So, Carey, the left-hander, on to strike. He's going to have long off. He's got a long on in there. Yeah, long off, long on. 2 men back on the leg side rope. A sweeper, extra cover, backward point. 3rd man on the edge of the circle. And Imran Tahir is at fine leg. Jordan Clarke comes in, right arm over the wicket to Carey, swing and a miss from Carey. It's well bowled again from Jordan Clarke, just the slower one, and it's done everything bar bowl Carey. That Carey completely lost his shape because he was through it so early. So 100 for 3, the Sussex Sharks. 64 more needed. We're in the 16th over. Here is Jordan Clarke once more, in over the wicket to Carey, backs away and cuts, but that's out towards the sweeper. On the cover rope, Will Jacks does the fielding as the throw comes in. 101 for 3.
Yeah, and Sussex are reaching the stage now where they really do need to pick up a couple of boundaries, Churchy. Singles aren't going to be enough. I'm sure these 2 experienced players know exactly what the score is, but Sussex need to find the boundary.
Wiese waits again, tall man, right-handed, Jordan Clarke into him, swinging at the slower ball is David Wiese. It hits the pads. Ben Foakes wants to LBW. Jordan Clarke's more worried about just picking the ball up, and there's no run. Dot deliveries count triple at the moment.
Well, there's just 2 runs off this over so far.
Very good for Jordan Clarke. I still think Surrey were below par with the runs they scored. I just think they bowled really, really well so far tonight. Not out of it, Sussex, though. Wiese has done it against Surrey already this season. As Jordan Clarke is in. There he goes! That's the one that Wiese's looking for. That's massive.
Whoa.
Middle tier of the pavilion. Just as we say, he's done it once already against Surrey this season. Those long arms swing the ball into the middle tier of the pavilion. And away for 6 it goes. And David Wiese's magnificent hair poking out the back of his crash helmet launches the ball into the middle tier of the pavilion. As in over the wicket goes Jordan Clarke. He's going again, leg side, 1 bounce for 4. Really tough for the sweeper on the mid-wicket boundary rope. That's Will Jack, so 10 off 2, and targeted the last 2 deliveries of that Jordan Clarke over, who's still bowled really well tonight, but that's good batting from David Wiese. 16 overs gone, 111 for 3, the Sussex Sharks. 4 remain, 53 required.
Well, we were saying, Churchy, that Sussex had to find the boundary, and David Wiese did that. That was a huge hit straight down the ground. Had that been at Hove, that would have probably been sort of halfway to the sea. that went an awful long way. So 4 overs to go. If you're tuning in for your normal Thursday night, it's live cricket here at the Oval. What a finish we got in prospect. 53 needed for Sussex to win. 4 overs remaining. The first of those to be bowled by Imran Tahir, the leg spinner, to the Australian Alex Carey. Magnificent sight here at the Oval. Floodlights on, and in comes Tahir. Right time over the wicket, bowls to Carey, who drills that one down the ground. Is he going to be caught? No, he's not. It bounces some way in front of Sam Curran. They come back for 2. David Wiese needs to get a move on as the throw comes in from Finch. It's a little wide of the stumps, but Carey picks up 2. He goes to 18. Sussex needing 51 to win off 23 balls. Carey, the left-hander, waits. Tahir in again, bowls to Carey, and Carey smears that one down the ground, only to mid-off, fielded there by a diving Stoneman. One more to Carey, he goes to 19, 114 for 3. 50 needed to win in 22 balls. This is going to be mighty close. Tahir is back to his mark. He runs in at about 45 degrees, off about 7 or 8 paces, the leg spinner. He's in and bowls. And Wiese, is he trapped in front? No, he's not. There's a loud appeal. The ball ricochets to backward point. We're just waiting for the umpire's signal, where it's given as a leg bye. I don't think that was too far away, actually, from being out LBW.
Just going down the leg side. Look leggy. Just going down.
Tahir again. To the left-handed Carey. He's in and bowls, and Carey swings this one away to long off. Is he going to be caught? Yes, he is caught. Carey's on his way. Taken by Tom Curran at long off. Tahir celebrates. Carey is on his way. Well, he had to take a chance at some stage in the over, but he's hit the ball straight down the throat of Tom Curran at long off. Carey is on his way for 19. And Sussex are 115 for 3, still needing another 49 to win, and this is going to need something quite special from, I think, probably David Wiese. Delray Rawlins is coming up, but certainly someone is going to have to play a big innings here if Sussex are going to maintain their unbeaten record.
Yeah, very good again from Imran Tahir and Surrey. They've been outstanding with the ball so far, they really have. Rawlins makes his way out to the middle. Very fine player, this young man.
Yes, he is, and as we were saying, been called up by Bermuda. He's going to miss the next couple of matches. I think he may be playing tomorrow, then he misses a couple of games.
I'd love to be called up by Bermuda. I really would.
But much, I think, here, depending on the experienced David Wiese. He's on 17. The run rate required is up to nearly 15 and over for Sussex. We've got 2 more balls of this, the 17th over to be bowled. Sussex needing another 49 to win, as in comes Tahir over the wicket, bowls, that's down the leg side. Well, I don't know quite what happened. It's been signalled a wide. I think the ball ricocheted away off of Ben Foakes' pads down the leg side.
Good bit of goalkeeping that.
Yes,
Ben
it was,
Foakes.
because that could well have run away for more than just a single, which has been given for the wide. In comes Tahir, bowls, and Wiese plays that one into the offside. Could take a comfortable single, giving the strike to Delray Rawlins, but Sussex need more than singles at the moment. 116 for 4. Wiese to 18. Rawlins yet to score, and anyone coming in now has got to hit the ground running. There's no time to get set. So what will Delray Rawlins do? Left-handed batsman, he waits. The last ball of the 17th over. Imran Tahir is in. He bowls. Rawlins down the wicket, drives against a thick outside edge. He's going to be caught at backward point. And that's the problem with a new batsman. You're coming in, there's no time really to have a sighter. Rawlins missed timing, and he's caught first ball at backward point. And Sussex now in a bit of trouble. 117 for 5, 47 needed off of just 3 overs. And much really depending now on the experienced David Wiese.
I've got to say at the moment, this is one of the best bowling performances I've seen from Surrey in the whole 16 years of the T20 competition. They have been absolutely outstanding so far. But there are still 3 overs to go, and in T20 cricket anything can happen. But against the top of the table side with this batting lineup for Sussex, so far this is an outstanding performance with the ball. But here comes Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
Now here's a bloke who can hit it to all sorts of areas.
He can.
And he's averaging, funnily enough, he's only averaging 8, but his strike rate 157. And he made a quick fire 22, I think, earlier on in the competition, of not very many balls.
Well, Sussex needs 16 and over, Church. I mean, that's a big ask, isn't it? And well, it can be done, and David Wiese's a man who could do it.
Yeah, I think the other
but
thing
it's a big ask.
The boundaries are massive tonight as well. That's the other thing. Boundaries are absolutely huge tonight. So here is Tom Curran coming in over the wicket to David Wiese. Wiese, swing and a miss. Slower ball again from Tom Curran. And the other thing you've got here, from a Sussex point of view, that's a problem, is you've got, you know, two of the best death bowlers in the world bowling at you. And just at the moment, Tom Curran and it would probably be Jade Dernbach, I would have thought. They've squeezed these middle overs, Surrey. As coming towards us is Tom Curran, over the wicket to Wiese, and Wiese swings it leg side, but again, they're going to be able to defend that leg side boundary as the throw comes in. One bounce over the top of the stumps, one more to the total. 118 for 5, 46 more required, but we're in the 18th over.
Yeah, 16 balls to go, and Sussex need boundaries here, and Rashid Khan has got no time, as Delray Rawlins says, no time to have a look at the bowl, and you've got to go for the boundaries, Churchy, or give Wiese the strike back.
He doesn't really need a lot of time, does he, Rashid Khan, with the way he bats? He's perfectly capable of first ball launching this miles. As he waits over his bat. Here comes Tom Curran to Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan's first ball, outside edge, straight to Imran Tahir on the edge of the circle at third man, and this bowling performance gets better and better from Surrey. Outstanding from Surrey tonight with the ball. And Rashid Khan goes first ball, and I have to say now, Sussex are staring down the barrel of their first defeat in the competition this season.
Yeah, they are, and that was a problem with batsmen coming out. Now we've seen two batsmen coming to the crease, Churchy, both of whom were out first ball. Delray Rawlins and now Rashid Khan. There is simply no time at all to have a look. You've got to get on with things straight away. Chris Jordan is a new batsman, so it's, you know, while there's life, there's still hope, but you really feel now it's on the shoulders of David Wiese. But even for the tall South African, it's going to need something absolutely monumental now if Sussex are going to retain their unbeaten record in this competition. Well, he does like a celebration, Imran Tahir, doesn't he?
Well, it's part of the Imran Tahir eccentricity, really. I think if you notice now, the Surrey players just let him run off, and then he turns around and comes back, and then they congratulate him. But yes, I sort of said at half-time, Surrey would have to bowl their socks off to win this game. So far, they're sort of down to their toes with their socks.
Well, 86 for 2 Sussex were when Laurie Evans was out, so they've lost 4 wickets for 32 in this pursuit of runs.
Yeah.
Much depending here on David Wiese, but this is a tall order now for the Sharks.
Chris Jordan is on strike as Tom Curran comes in over the wicket to the right-handed Jordan, who's driving thick inside edge down towards short fine leg. And again, not to repeat myself, but said, squeeze those middle overs, then you've got Dernbach and Tom Curran at the back end, and they are so good at this, these two. 119 for 6.
Well, Dernbach's got 2 to bowl. He's at 2 overs for 18. Tom Curran will presumably bowl the penultimate over from will bowl the final over, I should say, from that end of the ground. So we're expecting probably Dernbach to bowl.
As over the wicket once more comes Tom Curran, and Wiese slams him off the back foot. 1 bounce, 2 bounces down to long off, and Aaron Finch comes up to do the fielding, but at the minute they can't find the boundary, and the reason is A, Surrey are bowling really well, and B, using the whole ground here, so they're massive boundaries, and this is where Sussex have found it pretty tough to hit the rope tonight.
13 balls to go, 44 needed to win. Sussex, needless to say, needs some boundaries, and quickly.
Over the wicket is Tom Curran to Chris Jordan, and Jordan swings it. Now this one's high in the air, but again he hasn't got all of it. He'll be out here, caught at deep backward square. It's a good catch from Sam Curran, but again, other grounds that would have probably got over the rope.
Yeah.
But here, you've got to get all of it. And Chris Jordan goes for 1, and this is, well, now going to be an outstanding performance in the field from Surrey with the ball tonight. Look, Sussex haven't been bad. They've just come across Surrey right on the money tonight with ball and in the field.
Yeah, and I think when you look back, you think back at when Laurie Evans was out, because he made 34 and 35 balls, Laurie Evans, he'd been there a while, and you felt that somebody probably had to, if Laurie had stayed in, Sussex would have still went in with a shout. But I think when Laurie Evans was out, you got someone who's been in for a while, you want that person to carry on, and if you can, through the innings, but perhaps not to be. However, don't despair, Sussex fans, because David Wiese is still there, but this is a massive order, 22 and over required, and it's going to need something quite dramatic now if the Sharks are going to get over the line. 120 Absolutely. For 7. And as I say, you have to give credit for Surrey for the way they've bowled and the way they fielded. And this over is going to be bowled by Jade Dernbach. The new batsman is Will Beer, who's at the non-striker's end. And you really feel that Wiese's probably got to face pretty much all 12 balls now if Sussex are going to have a chance of winning this game. But this would be quite remarkable if the Sharks are going to get over the line. However, you never know with the great game, as in comes Dernbach running away from us, comes into bowl to David Wiese, and Wiese with a swing and a miss outside of the offside. Oh, it's a wide. Ooh, Dernbach looks towards umpire Blackwell as if to say, "Whoa, that's a bit tight, umpire," but that's one less Sussex have got to score. 43 needed off 12 balls. Will Beer comes wandering down the wicket. He was going to have a word with David Wiese, but he just contents himself with a little bit of gardening. Here on BBC Sussex, BBC Surrey and BBC London. Live cricket from the Oval. Myself, Adrian Harms, alongside Mark Church. As Dernbach wanders back towards his mark. Churchy was saying that Surrey simply had to win tonight to have any chance of making the quarter-finals. Well, here comes the Surrey skipper coming into bowl to David Wiese. That's wide outside the off stump. That's very much a wide. So 2 wides in a row. 42 needed to win off 12 balls. So it all helps as far as Sussex are concerned. I think probably any Sussex supporters here tonight, and there are quite a few in the crowd, will probably be thinking, well, Surrey tied with Sussex down at home, but they've only won 2 matches, and when you see that, they have bowled very well here.
Yeah, tonight. Look, I've always thought with Sussex supporters, Sussex supporters know their cricket, and they'll be the first to say that Surrey have been very good with the ball tonight.
In comes Dernbach over the wicket bowls, cut away, pumped away by Wiese down the ground. They've taken 1, they'll think about 2. No, they won't. It's just a single fielded by Aaron Finch, who gets in the throw. 1 more to the total, 123, 41 needed off 11 balls. What I was going to say, Churchy, was that the people might look at this and think, well, crumbs, how come Surrey have only won 2 matches so far?
But they haven't put it together. That's the thing. And tonight, I'm not sure they did with the bat, but they certainly have with the ball tonight. We said at half-time, they're going to have to, well, I did, they're going to have to bowl out of their skin. And they have.
Dernbach, 11 balls to go, comes into bowl to the right-handed Will Beer. He's in and bowls, and Beer swings at this one, but Dernbach fails to have his own bowling, and there is no run, and it's a dot ball. Well, it's not all up yet for Sussex, but they need 41 off 10 deliveries, and it's going to take something pretty monumental for the Sharks to get over the line. David Wiese wanders down the wicket. He's made 21, including 1 huge 6 into the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion. That one absolutely miles back onto the second tier of the pavilion. But it's Will Beer, who bowled beautifully, picked up 3 wickets. He faces Dernbach, who runs away from us, coming into bowl to the right-hander. He's in and bowls, and Beer with a swing and a miss outside of the off stump. 9 balls to go. That's another dot ball. Still 41 required. 123 for 7.
Yeah, and of course, Will Beer's first innings in the tournament.
Yes, it is, absolutely.
Big arse to go out and start slotting.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, from the middle order down, from Rawlins, Jordan, Rashid, Khan, they've all let to come in and swing the bat from the get-go. And it's clearly not easy on a wicket that's not easy to score quickly on. Dernbach is back to his mark at the end of the edge of the 30-yard circle, and comes running in his light blue shirt, running into bowl to Will Beer. He's in and bowls, and Beer swings that one down the ground. He's going to pick up a single, is Will Beer, fielded by Finch at the edge of the circle, but it's more... Sorry, Sussex need boundaries, not singles. 40 needed to win, 124 for 7.
It's going to sound a really odd thing to say this. When you bowl a side out for 44, you'd think that's their best bowling performance of the season so far. Against Glamorgan, this is by miles. This is so much better than knocking Glamorgan over for 44. Against this batting lineup, with the side coming to this ground unbeaten, outstanding performance from Surrey.
Dernbach runs away from us again, comes into bowl to David Wiese, who's in and bowls, and Wiese clubs that one down the ground to long on. He's just going to pick up another single, fielded down below us by Sam Curran, who gets in the throw. Wiese looks a little resigned as he gets to the non-strikers end. He goes to 22.
As far as saying tonight for Sussex listeners and Sussex fans here, of the 16 years of 2020 cricket, this is probably top 3 bowling performances I've seen from any Surrey side.
Well, you watch a lot of Surrey cricket, Churchy, so that's high praise, and maybe a bit of consolation for Sussex tonight that they've come against a side who've bowled extremely well. Dernbach runs away from us. Final ball of the 19th over. He comes in and bowls to the right-handed Will Beer. He's in a bowls and Beer clubs this one away. Is he going to get caught? He's caught. Aaron Finch takes that one comfortably. Beer is on his way. The 8th wicket go down for Sussex, 125 for 8. 39 needed off the last over. I don't think that's going to happen, and it looks like the Sussex Sharks are sliding to their first defeat of the season in the T20 competition. The Surrey players congratulate each other. I guess it has to be said, Churchy, as well. I wonder whether the Surrey players will feel some frustration that clearly they're capable of big performances like this, but they haven't produced them.
Surrey might put the greatest run of all time together here and time their way into the quarters of the fight. Look, at the end of the day, I think what you have to say is they've had one of those nights, Surrey, where at half-time they would have said, we've got to be perfect tonight, because if we're not, against this batting line-up and a side that's unbeaten in the competition and has won 6 out of 8, we're going to lose. And they have been spot on tonight with the ball. I don't think Sussex have quite worked out the size of the boundaries, but that's fair enough. But they've just come up against, as I say, every Surrey bowler tonight has done their job. They've caught all their catches. They've fielded really well sweeping. And they basically squeezed an incredibly talented Sussex batting lineup. It's going to be Tom Curran to bowl the final over. Can Wiese do something absolutely extraordinary while he's waiting? He's not even on strike, actually. That's the other problem. This is a wide first up. Danny Briggs has a little dart at that, but yeah, with it up in the air that long, of course they cross. So Wiese is actually stuck at the non-strike.
Yeah, he is, and he was frustrated about that. David Wiese, when he was out, he knew that he was going to be at the non-strikers end, but it's pretty much up, isn't it? It would take 6 sixes. You just don't think that's going on a ground of this size, and David Wiese not on strike.
Well, even 6 sixes wouldn't get them there. As in over the wicket comes Tom Curran to Briggs, and Briggs cuts and he'll get a single, and that'll go out to Ollie Pope. So Wiese gets on to strike, 127 for 8.
Well, we'll have a natter at the end, Churchy, about Surrey's remaining fixtures, and also we'll talk about Sussex's fixtures as well coming up over the next few days. Then we're into a round of championship cricket before the competition resumes again. So it's a slightly unusual competition that there's sort of a break 2/3 of the way through, just a side to maybe getting a bit of momentum.
Over the wicket then comes Tom Curran to David Wiese, and Wiese right up on his toes, looking to work leg side, hits the pad, rolls away. Good bowling again from Tom Curran. Curran tonight 3 for 19. Tahir's picked up 3. Jordan Clarke 1. Jade Dernbach 1.
So what if he hurt his side there, Tom Curran, Churchy? He's just sort of stretching out at the far end. Let's hope that he's okay.
Yeah, everybody's a bit stiff and sore at the moment, aren't they, with the games coming thick and fast. As you say, the championship cricket starting again on Sunday. As Tom Curran runs towards us, comes in over the wicket to Danny Briggs. Briggs looks to cut, and that's into the gloves of Ben Foakes, moving away to his left-hand side. But yeah, the championship cricket starting again. Ooh, now I think Tom Curran's going to go off here. I think he has.
Yes.
Just felt something in his side.
Yeah,
Tom
he did.
Curran. So he's going to go off sensibly, because there are only 4 balls of the game left. So he's just going to go off. Surrey will be hoping that's nothing too serious in the fact that they have got a T20 game tomorrow, plus a championship game starting on Sunday. But Tom Curran marches off, but I think probably more precautionary than anything, with 36 still required.
Yeah, he just as soon as he bowled that delivery, Churchy, he just sort of felt his hip. It didn't look like it was a side to me. It looked like it was more in the hip region. It looks like his brother's going to finish it off
from up here, isn't it? So, as I say, probably sensible, just get him off now. Let Sam Curran finish it. off from a Surrey point of view, and let Tom Curran have a bit of treatment and a bit of rest and head off to the Ageas Bowl tomorrow. Sam Curran then coming in left arm round the wicket, and Briggs swings at this and gets a bit of bat, I think, or is that off the pad? It rolls into the leg side, whatever it is. Leg by the signal. So final knockings of this. 2 balls left. Surrey are going to beat Sussex. Sussex, their first defeat of the competition.
Yep.
But there aren't many sides that go through an entire group stage unbeaten.
No, and Sussex, if you'd have said to Sussex after 9 games you'd have lost 1, you take that every day of the week. So you're bound to get the odd performance, but I think and maybe when you're unbeaten for a long period of time you think that's great, but you want to keep unbeaten, don't you? So you've got to lose sometime. And our big game coming up at Canterbury tomorrow, weather permitting.
And it's left arm around the wicket comes Sam Curran to Wiese, swings him, leg side, down towards long on for 6. Yeah. So David Wiese, Sam Curran's doing this cold at the moment. Wasn't expecting to be bowling, but Wiese's just launched one. But it's all a bit late. And there is 1 ball left of this game.
Yeah.
And Wiese moves on to 29, 135. For 8 now, the Sharks, and we have 1 ball left of the game tonight in front of a sellout here. Kiro, and the moon's come out as well. Look at that. Brilliant. There's the moon over in the distance. The moon's watching at the moment as Sam Curran is in to Wiese. Wiese chips him down the ground. They'll take 1. I would have thought they'll come back for 2. They will indeed, and that will mean that the Sussex Sharks finish 137 for 8, but it's Surrey that win this game here this evening. Sussex, their first defeat of the competition, but I have to say Surrey have been absolutely outstanding with the ball. Imran Tahir, as he always does, goes and hugs everybody. He likes a hug, does Imran Tahir.
Well, a nice hug for his countryman David Wiese there, which was nice to see.
But I also think that Sussex will put their hands up and admit that they've come across Surrey.
Yep.
Absolutely outstanding performance with the ball tonight.
Yeah, and Sussex won't have any complaints. I thought Sussex bowled very well. Certainly the spinners bowled extremely well. Will Beer back into the side for his first game in the competition, bowled very well. Briggs and Rashid Khan. 164, I think, is something that I fancied chasing here, but it always looked that they sort of got themselves behind the run rate. And much as David Wiese tried to claw that back, it was always going to be difficult in the middle order, then coming in needing to score quick runs. So these things happen in T20. I don't think Sussex supporters need to be too down. As you say, it's their first defeat in the competition. What they'll want to do, though, is to get the momentum back with a trip to Canterbury tomorrow. Then there's this break for Championship and then another 4 games to play. So you say, sorry, go to the Ageas Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, go to the Ageas Bowl tomorrow night, and then ironically, guess who comes here to start the Championship game on Sunday? Hampshire. So yes, Hampshire may as well just follow Surrey back tomorrow night. So, so 4-day game. It's madness, isn't it? 4-day game starting on Sunday against Hampshire.
Yeah, and Sussex with a 4-day game against Middlesex starting down at Hove at the weekend. A game you can hear ball-by-ball commentary on via the BBC website. So live radio commentary coming up tomorrow night on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey as Sussex make the trip down to Canterbury. The weather forecast is not great for tomorrow, certainly later on in the day, but we'll be there to bring you cricket if indeed we get any cricket. And as Churchy was saying, Surrey in action tomorrow night down at the Ageas Bowl, and you can hear that game online as well. But a comprehensive victory here for Surrey. Very good in the field, as Churchy was saying, as the players make their way up the pavilion steps in the far distance at the end of the game. So what that does in terms of the group means that we'll just get that group table up for you. It may take a little while to update, actually, but it will mean that Sussex, I think, will remain top of the group tonight. They've played 9, they've got 14 points already. It's updated, actually. Surrey up to 7th in the group with 7 points from their 10 games. You'd think, Churchy, that realistically Surrey would need to win their final 4 games. That would get them 15 points, which might squeeze Surrey into the quarterfinals. But with this bad weather around, you never know what's going to happen in this competition. So there we are, a victory today here for Surrey here at the Oval, and you have to say in the end a convincing victory as well. Just to give you by 26 runs. Just to give you the bowling figures for Surrey, because they were very good. Imran Tahir, 4 overs, 3 for 24. Sam Curran, 0 for 23 in his 2.3 overs. Jade Dernbach, 1 for 23 in his 3 overs. Tom Curran, 3 for 20 before he went off. It looked like a hip injury. We hope he's going to be okay. Gareth Batty, 4 overs, 0 for 24. Jordan Clarke, 3 overs, 1 for 19. As far as Sussex are concerned, Laurie Evans top scoring with 34. David Wiese, 31 not out. Luke Wright making 25, but the middle order really had a little bit too much to do. The ground staff are currently very busy dragging on the covers to get the pitch protected here with a rain forecast over the next couple of days. Churchy, it's been great fun as ever. And we'll go and get some reaction now from both the Surrey camp and the Sussex camp. We're on air till 10 o'clock this evening on BBC Sussex and BBC Surrey, so we'll get some reaction hopefully before 10 o'clock for you this evening. I think before we go, we're going to get an update on the game down at Hove this evening, where we're going to get the Southern Vipers playing Lancashire Thunder. Lancashire Thunder 132 for 7 in their 20 overs. The Southern Vipers, last we heard, was 79 for 4 in the 13th over. Bruce Talbot is down watching that game. So I'll tell you what we'll do, just a message to producer Henry. We'll get an update from Bruce Talbot, I think, at the end of the game. So we'll make our way off to get through. I think we might well get Bruce Talbot just for a quick update on how things are doing. So there we are, Bruce Talbot down at home. Defeat for Sussex here tonight, Bruce, but I wonder how things are going down at Hove. Yeah, I'll update. Yeah. Bruce, thanks very much indeed. We'll catch up with